Good evening and welcome into Norwin Knights Stadium, the Knights Castle, home of the Norwin Knights, as they'll play host to their Week 1 opponent, the Altoona Mountain Lions, coming down from Blair County. We welcome you inside tonight's C. Harper Auto pregame show on the Westmoreland Sports Network. C. Harper, the best price every time, all the time. Hello, everyone. I'm Dave Franzak, alongside my partner, welcoming him in for his first game of the season with us is Coach Tim McCabe. Coach, last week the Knights came out here, and you and I were talking. It was a little bit of a strange game against Penn Trafford, where both defenses played very well, but the offenses, neither one could really seem to get an entire rhythm going. And Norwin never put points up on the board. They had one taken back on a false start penalty, and that was really the only scoring threat they had all game, where Penn Trafford was able to march down a few times and get a field goal later in the game, and lock things down both with their run game and stellar defensive play. Altoona, though, on the other side, they came in, they hosted Taylor Alderdice in a non-conference game in Week 0, had a late victory for themselves, a 35-34 victory over a very good Taylor Alderdice team coming out of the City League. And kind of a different looks at that, as you have a very strong running team in Penn Trafford, and tonight you're going to have a very strong passing team in Altoona.
Yeah, David, first of all, thank you for the nice welcome. It's great to be back another season. Seems like it was yesterday where we finished up down in the soccer stadium against Pittsburgh Central Catholic. But, the Knights, they have their work cut out for them. Historically, they've had trouble stopping the run, and last week against Penn Trafford, it was obvious that they're still going to have the same problem. But Altoona brings a different dimension. They did a lot of scoring through the air last week, and that's going to be good for Norwin because, in my opinion, that's the strength of their defense, is their secondary and their linebackers. So it's going to be a great matchup today. Something's got to give.
We have a lot of returning starters for Norwin in that secondary, most notably Javon Thrift, receiving his 5th Division I offer this week, coming from Toledo. It adds to the list of Syracuse, Pitt, WVU, and the 4th one is slipping my mind. Akron, you're right, thank you. And so, you just added to the list, and there's going to be more to come, as he's only a junior this year. You talk about the linebacking core. A guy I think that went under the radar but had a stellar game leading the way in tackles, John Pickett. I don't know what more you can say. He is the voted on captain today, and we'll hear Coach talk about him later in the coach's show. But John Pickett flew under the radar last year, led the team in tackles. Flew on the radar last week, led the team in tackles.
Yeah, John's a good kid. He's not physically tall, but he's a great build for a linebacker. And with the two big guys they have at tackle, I think he gets hidden behind there. And he's hard for those offensive linemen to see and for those backs to see when they're coming out of the backfield. Great kid. He's going to be the game captain tonight. And I was talking to him in school today, and he is, without a doubt, the leader of that defense. And he understands his role. And he is just a good, solid student, and he's a good, solid football player. So we're expecting big things. He's a tackling machine. 14 tackles last week against a good Penn Trafford team. So we're expecting big things from John tonight.
One thing that really needs to get going, though, in my opinion, is going to be the Norwin offense. They didn't even get 100 net yards last week. That's it's pretty shameful. I don't know if shameful is the right word, but it's unique and not in a good way, where you had a pair of runners for Penn Trafford both to get over 100 yards. You talked about the run defense not being a strength, but now I think your run offense has to be a strength this week. And even through the air, you got to see. I want to see if Jack Salapak can get his feet underneath him after a loss last week. Last year you and I talked a lot about the rotation that was at the quarterback. There was never a set starter until almost halfway through the season, maybe even beyond halfway through the season. We have a set starter this year. It's going to be interesting to see how Jack comes off of a loss, especially after throwing an interception on his first pass attempt last week.
Yeah, that was a definite bad break for him. I was talking to Coach Ruane after the game last week, and he said, "Did you ever see such an ugly game?" And I said, "Coach, it depends what side you coach on. If you're a defensive guy, you loved that game last week. 3-0. Both defenses played stellar. Norwin's bent but didn't break. Penn Trafford's was solid all night. So hopefully that's you win championships with defense. You win section championships with defense. So hopefully that's a sign of things to come for the Knights. Penn Trafford had a high octane offense last year. Norwin they only scored 3 points, Dave. But you have to remember, it's a week where they're playing a game when they should still be practicing and scrimmaging. So you're going to expect a lot of low-scoring games in that supposed week 0 but you couldn't tell them it was week 0 last week. Those guys were playing for keeps last week, and it's a good rivalry, and it's a great rivalry, and they need to keep it.
That's one thing Coach Brzezinski talked about a lot with us last week in the pregame show was how, on paper it really means nothing, but on the field it means everything because it is such a fabled rivalry within the WPIAL, and it is fun to watch those teams go at it. On the other side of the ball, though, we have the Altoona Mountain Lions. They're under the tutelage of head coach John Franco. He's in his second season. Even though they only got 2 wins last season, I think it was a much improved team Altoona was from a couple of years ago. And you have a lot of returners coming in. Most notably, you have Tyler Patucci and also Cam Fasik, the leading running back and leading receiver, respectively, for the Altoona team. And we saw, at least in the tapes of last week's game against Taylor Alderdice, Patucci had a lot of touches through the air in last week's win, a couple long passes where he went unmarked and got about 20, 30 yards on the ground just from a pass out of the air. Now, we talk, obviously it's going to be a strength for Norwin to be able to shut that down, but it is something to watch as there are going to be a lot of returners coming into this game tonight for Altoona.
Yeah, Altoona, they run a nice offense. It's a wide-open offense. Sometimes they have 2 backs in the backfield. Sometimes they have 1 back in the backfield. They try to do some misdirection, a lot of play action. I know they run a little bit of the option, and then they have that downfield passing game. So they're good. Definitely going to spread the field on Norwin, try to create some seams up the middle on the hash marks, and it's going to be a big test. And like we were talking last year and tonight before we got on the air, definitely the strength of Norwin is their secondary and their linebackers. So it's going to be a great test for the Knights.
Well, let's take a quick break here on the Westmoreland Sports Network on the C. Harper pregame show. When we come back, we'll hear from head coach Dave Brzezinski here on the C. Harper pregame show on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Visit the Glass City Stained Glass Restoration and Gift Shop in the heart of downtown Jeanette. They offer endless possibilities of stained glass colors and textures with a large selection of lead, copper foil, tools, and equipment. They repair and restore churches, your home, or your business. The Gift Shop has sun catchers, night lights, stepping stones, photo art, and more. Imagine beautiful stained glass windows in your skylights, family rooms, or foyer. They also offer stained glass classes. Stop by the Glass City or call 724-527-CITY, online at the Glass.
This is your County Commissioner, Ted Kopus. I am proud to sponsor a great tradition of high school football in Westmoreland County. Best wishes to all of the players and coaches who work so hard all year, to the cheerleaders, band members, and fans who represent their schools so well, and a special thanks to all the parents who sacrifice so much for these students. This is your County Commissioner, Ted Kopus. Enjoy the game and enjoy all that Westmoreland County has to offer.
Paid for by Committee for Kopus. Visit Ted Kopus.
We welcome you back inside the C. Harper pregame show, and now joining us on the C. Harper pregame show is Norwin football head coach Dave Brzezinski. Coach, we welcome you into tonight's show, and unfortunately coming off of a loss in week 0 to your crosstown rivals, Penn Trafford. Kind of a strange game, at least from up in the booth it was. Didn't really seem like either offense could get anything really going throughout that game, but the defense has also played very well. What was your assessment of that game?
I think it's pretty spot on. I think so both defenses played very well. I think they both made plays whenever they had to. And a lot of that you can look at the defense playing well, and that ties into why offenses aren't executing and everything. And so I think there's a little bit of both. I thought I was proud of the way our guys played defense overall. We got made some big stops when we had to, kept on getting the ball back to our offense and working for another opportunity. The pick in the end zone was a big play for us. That actually that same drive, we had that drive go down and we had that touchdown come back because of misalignment and everything. So it's like anything else. Every game comes down to about 4 or 5 plays, and I thought the defense made some plays when they had to, and definitely on both sides, and definitely that second half, PT's defensive line definitely made some plays against our offense, and it didn't allow us to get a lot of momentum going or anything.
One thing I noticed, at least on the defensive side of the ball for you guys, is they really like to run the left side. Is there anything you guys are doing to slow that down? The right side of the defense, the left side of the offense.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things that definitely second half we're running behind Mayer, and they were also formationing different things to try to get different alignments and everything. And like anything else, you're looking at making some adjustments throughout. And we always watch film, and Coach Wayne does a great job of whether it be last year going into empty and motioning a guy across and trying to find a spot, or going double tight and twins and running back to the away from where the receiver strength is. You're always looking at trying to see how we can attack the offense and how the offense attacking the defense to help out. But yeah, there's definitely some things personnel wise and scheme wise that we've done to address that.
Offensively, in the first series, we saw Javon Thrift line up in the backfield. Is that something we're going to see more of this year? I mean, to my memory, I can't remember him playing offense until week 0. Is that something we're going to see more of this year?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you would have seen a lot more of him on Friday if it wasn't for the darn cramps. He was himself and Gianni Rizzo were cramping up pretty severely throughout the course of the second half of the game, everything, and caused it a lot of limited reps with us. But yeah, definitely expect to see Javon in the backfield a lot more this year, and splitting time with Tevin, and both guys give us a great opportunity to be able to have a pretty solid run game if we can get things going.
I hate to keep jumping back and forth, but back on the defensive side, John Pickett, one guy that, I mean, last year he flew under the radar and was your leading tackler. This past week it seemed to be the same way. He just made stop after stop. Talk about John's play.
Oh, I love to talk about John. He's a great kid. He's a person that just does everything that you want him to do. He was our leader in tackles last year, and picked up right off in week 0 against PT, having 14 tackles and some key tackles and some really key times and getting some stops there. Towards the end of the game too, it was one of those things where we had to go. You're telling the guys you have to go after the ball and do your job and go after the ball out there. And he came over and had a really nice shot on Gay and popped the ball out, and unfortunately we weren't able to get the ball back. And but John's definitely he's a leader of our defense. He gets sets our defense and everything, and he's just a guy that has a motor that never stops.
Now moving forward into this week, you're finally getting into a week. Now, I don't want to say this the past week against Penn Trafford, it didn't count, but I guess on paper it doesn't count. You're moving into your first official game of the week or the season. How does that? Is the team excited about it? Obviously, they're going to be excited, but I mean, what's the life like in the locker room right now?
Oh yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, we have a 24-hour rule no matter what. So 24 hours after the game, whether we win, lose, draw, whatever would happen to be, that game's over and done with. We learn from the mistakes. But we got to then move on, and our focus every week is to be 1-0. And this week, our mentality is this playoff mentality. It's not just week 1; it's a conference week, and all conference games obviously have bearings on playoff situations and everything. And our guys know that. We've made it very clear. And the biggest thing is, what that does for us is just understand that we have to have extreme focus every week, but we have to focus on what we can control and what we do. And if we do that, and we do that week in and week out, conference games and non-conference games, I think we'll have a successful season. But this week, with being week 1 in conference game, definitely the mentality. Like you said, we definitely wanted to win that week 0 game. But like you said, on paper, it has no bearing on playoffs, and this week is obviously different.
Now, talking about this week, you guys have the Altoona Mountain Lions coming down up from Blair County. Last year, you guys went up there and played a very well played game. If I can remember, the very first play from scrimmage was Peyton Deary taking it to the house, I think almost 75 yards. Aaron Carr. Thank you for the correction. But this Mountain Lions team, they're coming back, and they have a lot of returning starters, and they showed a lot of glimpses last year to be a very successful team. Is that something you're looking forward to tonight against the Mountain Lions?
Oh, definitely. I mean, they have a lot of Coach Felix. In his second year, we played him in the first game of first conference game of his tenure at Altoona after he came from Coatesville, I believe it was. He's definitely a guy that you could see the improvement in the team throughout the course of last season. And then this season, they come off a big victory last week where they came back to win 35-34 versus a very talented Alderice team. So, we know with they have a lot of experience come back. They showed some progress throughout the course of the year, and it's going to be a tough game tonight. It's going to be about who takes care of the ball, who's able to make plays on offense, and who's able to eliminate the plays on defense. And then, as always, special teams are a key part in every game. So it's definitely going to be a challenging game tonight.
Finally, we'll wrap things up, Coach, with the question we always like to ask you. You have your 3 solid captains throughout the season. The 4th voted on. Last week it was Jake Smedick. Who's your captain this week, and what did they do to deserve that?
Yeah, well, I think we talked about him earlier. John Pickett was voted on by his team as the game captain for the Week 1 game versus Altoona. He, like I said, it's something we take very seriously. And every Monday we have the guys vote, and they voted on John Pickett for this week, and I think it's a great pick for the first conference game this week.
All right, Coach, well, we wish you the best of luck tonight against Mountain Lions. We thank you.
When you make your way into Dehar Orthodontics, we don't want it to be just another appointment. We want it to be an experience. Our new patient welcoming area offers free Wi-Fi, a gaming area, face painting, balloon animals, and of course, a coffee bar for mom and dad. Just another reason Dehar Orthodontics is the #1 orthodontic practice in Westmoreland County. Call one of our 3 locations in Greensburg, Latrobe, or Irwin to schedule your complimentary consultation today, or visit Dehar Orthodontic.
Tonight's live Knights football broadcast on the Westmoreland Sports Network is being made possible by the support of the Norwin Football Boosters. President Bob Rizzo, Vice President Jen Turkowski, Treasurer Heather Neubauer, Secretary Ginny Gustafaro, and the rest of the boosters wish good luck to Coach Dave Brzeski and the Knights this season. For more on Norwin football, follow the Knights on Twitter @NKnightsFBall. The Norwin Football Boosters, making it possible for our student athletes to experience high school sports at its highest level.
We welcome you back inside the C. Harper Auto pregame show here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. C. Harper, the best price every time, all the time. You see the Norwin Knights captains going out to meet at midfield. It's Gage Lumtak, Brock Dieter, Zach Turkowski, and this week's voted on game captain John Pickett. As we'll wait to see the opening kickoff, or who will receive, and such as looks like Altoona will receive the opening kickoff. Coach, it's Friday night football when you have everybody in long sleeves and long pants tonight. It's a cool, windy night here at Norwin Knight Stadium, and all day it felt like it had that football atmosphere to it.
Yes, it did, and it's a great crisp night. As I can quote the Game of Thrones, winter is coming. and tonight for sure it feels that way. So great night for football, and the crowd's excited. And I don't know who's going to kick off for Norwin because their kicker is at a soccer game right now. And hopefully he's going to be back for the second half. So I believe Zeke Hauser is going to do the duties.
He is your normal punter, and he had a couple very beautiful punts last week, pinning Penn Trafford down to its own 3-yard line at one point. And luckily, even though Penn Trafford had a very good drive off of that, I think it was about 17 or 18 plays that drive went, they missed the field goal right before the half. So, like you said in the pregame, bend don't break mentality for the Norwin defense. And it is going to be Zeke Hauser kicking the ball off. We thank you for joining us here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. And we thank you for listening to us and putting up with us here on the C. Harper pregame show. C. Harper, the best price every time, all the time. I saw Connor McCarthy's back to receive. I'm sorry, I looked at the wrong number. Is it Braden Birchfield is back to receive one of the quarterback. That'd be a shocker if a quarterback was receiving the opening kickoff as Zeke Hauser gets ready. Clock set. I'm sorry, it's 21, not 11, and that's Connor Adams here on the near side, and I believe that's 29. That would be Mitchell Lawhead to receive for the Mountain Lions. The run up from Hauser, and it's a high end-over-end kick, not a bad one, as it's taken at the 5-yard line across the 25, now up, dancing up across the 20 before being brought down by a few different Knights. That was Connor Adams. So Braden Birchfield, the quarterback for the Mountain Lions here, will get things ready. Cam Fasik, number 3, is one guy to keep an eye out on the outside. Also Tyler Petrucci, you'll see him get a couple touches through the air. He's your normal running back. for Altoona. He lines up as a wingback right now, as in the back is going to be Lawhead with Birchfield. 2 receivers split to the right, 1 to the left, and a wing to the left. It's going to be a handoff to Lawhead in the backfield. Smetic got there initially. Ball's on the ground. Ball's on the ground. That's all Norwin Knights in front of it, and it's going to be picked up by Norwin. First play of the game, it's a fumble recovered by Norwin.
And I think it was Pickett that caused the fumble from his linebacker position. Came in through the gap, and just like last year, Dave, first play, big play for the Knights. And the Knights take possession, and now they're in the driver's seat. Just what the doctor ordered for the Knights.
So, luck of the draw here to start the game. Norwin now already enters
Pickett.
the red zone, and that's the Norwin Knights red zone, sponsored by the Norwin Teachers Federal Credit Union. Student accounts are available at their branch inside Norwin High School. Savior the savings. It's Johnny Rizzo at quarterback to start. He's going to keep it and go left side. He finds a couple blockers and gets up to about the 10-yard line.
That's the Wildcat formation, Dave. They practice it throughout the week. They put Rizzo in as the quarterback, and looked like Altoona was well scouted there. They were ready for that play.
Gain of 4 on the play. It'll bring down 2nd and 6 from the 9. They're going to bring a yard back and make it 2nd and 7 on the gain of 3 from Rizzo. Rizzo remains in at quarterback, and we got a flag thrown here.
It's got to be some type of neutral zone infraction lined up in the neutral zone for Norwin.
No, I think they're going to give. Are they going to?
Looks like a receiver.
They're giving a bench warning. Yeah.
Yep,
I was going to say, as soon as I saw that, the ref, the FAR judge who threw the flag, pointed to the ref or to the sidelines.
Setting the tone early tonight.
Now clock will roll again at 11:07 here in quarter number 1. Rizzo remains at quarterback. In the backfield is Javon Thrift, and now it's going to be right side for Rizzo, pushing the pile forward and getting up near the 5. They're going to mark him down at the 6, so another gain of 3. Coach, you and I talked a lot about it last year. You win first down and second down on a 3-yard gain. It's now a 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, and it opens up the playbook, and it gives the Norwin coaching staff a lot to choose from here. And I think Norwin right now is just trying to set the tone for the game. You know, we're going to run the ball. Here's our formation, try to stop us. So it's going to be interesting to see what they come up with on 3rd and short.
Johnny Rizzo remains in at quarterback. If you remember, a couple years ago, he vied for the position. I believe it was even last year. Handoff is going to go to Javon Thrift, bounces outside, gets across the 5, trips over the 4-yard line. I think he was down. They are marking him down at the 2-yard line, so he did get the first down, and luckily the ball was marked down. And so first carry for Javon tonight. He needed 4. He got about 6.
Yeah,
he got about 5.
His knee was definitely on the ground here before the ball comes out. His elbow's on the ground, and that's the same as the knee. That's some nice outside speed that they didn't have last week against the Warriors, Dave. So a nice first run by Javon Thrift.
It'll be 1st and goal from the 1 as Johnny Rizzo remains in at quarterback. He's got 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left, and 2 backs to his left. Going to be snapped to Rizzo. He's going to force his way forward, lean forward. Ball is loose in the end zone, and it's picked up by Altoona. Rizzo thinks he was already across the line before the ball came loose.
Unfortunately, he doesn't count. They're calling a touchback, and Altoona gets a big turnover.
Well,
and it looks like he was hit right near the goal line, and the ball squirted forward into the end zone, and an alert Altoona Mountain Lion fell on it for a big turnover for the Altoona Mountain Lions.
Well, we'll try this again. 1st and 10 from the 20 for Altoona. Birchfield in the shotgun, hands it off, and it's going to be to Patucci, but I don't think Patucci even got back to the line. If he did, he'll be lucky.
Yeah, good first penetration, I believe, by Jake Smetic coming off the ball, disrupting the backfield flow, and then the rest of the Knights made good pursuit for a good no gain, a nice tackle by the Norwin defense.
No gain as it's going to be 2nd and 10. Fake the handoff, and now it's going to be keeping it himself will be Braden Birchfield. He'll lean forward and get a couple.
Yeah, that's your typical zone read. The quarterback either gives it to the running back or fakes it. He decided to fake it that time, kept it himself, ran up the middle. It looks like Mr. Pickett and Luptak was in on the tackle.
They'll bring up a 3rd and 7. 8.5 to play here in the first quarter. As it's Birchfield going to throw this time. Throws across the middle. It's caught. And did he complete the pass? He did, as Pickett hit the receiver as soon as the ball was caught. That was 10. Jonah Brandt.
It was a great reaction play by John Pickett, almost making the interception. Got there right when the ball got there. And if he doesn't bring him down, the receiver for Altoona gets the first down very easily, but a great open field tackle to bring up 4th down.
The gain was of 4. And deep to receive this year, it'll be Bill Kirsten with his toes at his own 35. The punt is going to be a short, wobbly punt. It's going to take a bounce, and we'll get to about midfield and just across to the 49, and Norwin will have good field position again to start this drive. They couldn't capitalize last time. They have to this time. We'll see if we'll see we will see Jack Salapak now in there, as the last time it was all Gianni Rizzo.
Yeah, you definitely need to take advantage of this field position, getting the ball inside the 20 on your first time, and now just barely on the other side of the 50. So Norwin has to take advantage of this field position.
Shotgun formation for Salapak. Tries the hard count, wants to throw right away. Fires, finds Luptak wide open across the 40. Now gets up near the 35, leans forward and gets up towards the 30. It's going to be a gain of about 20.
Yeah, great call by Coach Visnick on the Norwin offensive coordinator. Nice, easy catch, nice, easy pass, great pattern, wide open across the middle. And Gage is a nice target. He's nice and tall, goes about 210, 212 pounds. And nice play for Norwin on first down.
I want to stand corrected. That was a gain of 15 on the play, not of 20. Shotgun again on first down. Salapak throws across the middle. It's off the hands of Rizzo and deflects almost into the hands of Zeke Hauser and ends up falling incomplete.
Yeah, good idea, bad execution. The ball was thrown a little bit too hard. Norwin's very lucky that it was not intercepted by the free safety from Altoona, so they dodged the bullet there. Jack has to take some off on that. He just threw it a little too hard. It was a little too hot to handle.
2nd and 10 for Norwin. Rizzo brings Tevin Thrift in the backfield with him. I'm sorry, that's Salapak. Handoff goes to Thrift. Has a lot of room, dances out of a couple of tackles, gets up near the 20. And he'll get the first down. He needed 10, he got 11.
Nice move in the backfield by Tevin. He looked like he was going to get hit immediately and did a nice sidestep and a huge hole for the offensive line. And nice run, first down yardage.
6:55 to go in the first quarter, no score. We've had a pair of turnovers already, a fumble at the goal line by Gianni Rizzo after Norwin had recovered a fumble on the first play from scrimmage. Trips line out to the left of Salapak with one receiver here near side. Salapak drops back. He's under pressure. He's going to try to get it away, and he does. And they're going to throw a flag. It's going to go against Altoona for a roughing the passer. I would believe that would be the case.
Intentional grounding.
Jacob Hunter was the one in there, and Coach Brzezinski's trying to say there was a receiver in the immediate area. And there's going to be a back judge coming. Oh, I thought he was going to come in and trying to talk him out of this penalty. It is going to be intentional grounding.
Yeah, he called it immediately, so I don't know if the rules are the same as the NFL if you get outside the tackle, which he was clearly outside the tackle box. Maybe he didn't get past the line of scrimmage. I don't know. But the call is the call. So Norwin's backing up 2nd and a mile.
It'll be 2nd and 25 from the 35. Pistol formation this time for the Knights, as it's Tevin Thrift deep. Handoff is going to go to him. He wants the left side, now tries to cut back middle. He's going to get barely 2 yards as he's brought down pretty quickly across the line of scrimmage. That's one thing I think we need to see Tevin do more of, is trying to run between the tackles. Last year, every time he came in, he would you could see the play was designed to go between the tackles, and he always bounced it outside. He's got to learn to try to go up the middle.
Right, you got to go north-south first, and then on your second cut, you hit that sideline. So see what comes up here, third and double sticks, very, very long. Just got to get a chunk of it back here.
Salapak. He's got 2 receivers each side, and well, you had the entire front of Altoona jump, but also Tevin Thrift in the backfield jump.
Yeah, this is going to be a coin flip who they thought went first, and it's going to be Altoona.
Yep.
Into the neutral zone.
Well, what was a 3rd and 23 will be now a 3rd and 18. Greensburg-Salem scored. They're up 7-0 over Ringgold in the first quarter. Empty set now for Salapak because he's got 3 to his right, 2 to his left. Dropping back, has time, now fires down the middle, and it's over the hands of Bill Kirsten, the intended receiver.
Yeah, that was a 5 vertical receiver route, and Altoona had it covered very nicely. Now Norwin's pretty much in no man's land here. Looks like they're sending out the punt team. I'm going to try to pin Altoona deep into their own end.
Gateway 7, Greater Latrobe 3. That's in the first quarter. Zukauser will come in to punt the ball away. As we mentioned before, he had a couple beautiful punts last week. Had a lot of nice bounces for Norwin. 5.5 to play in the first quarter, no score. He does get the punt off. It's a spiraling punt, and it's going to just go mid-end zone for a touchback. The Westmoreland Sports Network congratulates our Week 0 Westmoreland County Player of the Week, Dairy running back Sean Broadway, as voted on by you, the fans. Sean ran for 137 yards and 3 touchdowns on 20 attempts in the Trojans' win over rival Latrobe. Sean receives a prize pack from Permani Brothers on East Pittsburgh Street in Greensburg and is featured in an article that you can read right now on WestmorelandSports.com. Congratulations to our other finalists, Brandon Brose, Justin Slowowski of Hempfield, and Robert Kennedy of Jeanette. First down play for Altoona is going to be a run up the left side.
Host of Norwin defenders there, led by Gage Lovetak, the middle linebacker. Just a quick little read, part of their package that they bring every play, the fake or the run. And the running back took it up the middle. Norwin responded with a nice tackle.
I believe it was Tyler Wagner on the carry number 2 for gain of 4. It's going to be a swing pass this time. It's going to be Lawhead. Flag flies.
Yeah, that was the option look. Quarterback came down the line of scrimmage, pitched it to the back. We have a offensive holding on the edge going against Altoona, so that's going to march him back.
There'll be a block in the back. Nonetheless, an illegal block will push the Mountain Lions back farther. Well, so far, not a very clean game played to this point. Norwin's first drive there looked to be effective until Rizzo's fumble. They're right at the goal line. And until that penalty, it was a relatively effective drive the last time offensively.
Yeah, Norman's definitely got to come out with points in this first quarter with the opportunities they've had. 2 of them already on the plus side of the field. So big second down and long here. The defense got to come up big.
Dropping back to pass is Birchfield. He's going to be chased out, now fires downfield. It's caught, but Rizzo is there immediately, and going nowhere was Mitch Lawhead.
Actually a loss, Dave. So great coverage by the Knights secondary. Something we talked about earlier in the broadcast, that's definitely part of Norwin where they're the strongest at is their pass coverage. And they showed a good example of why right there.
Well, they're going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say no gain on the play, as Gianni Rizzo was the one to come in. 3rd and 19. It's a swing pass here to the near side. It's caught and going almost nowhere immediately was Cam Fasek.
That was one of them plays where, we'll get 5 yards and punt. Norwin said that's okay with us. Now Altoona's in punt formation, and Norwin has a chance for great field position again as the deep man is on this side of the 50 once again.
Gain was of 6 on that, and that was the largest gain for Altoona to this point. Patucci will punt the ball away for the Mountain Lions. A rugby-style punt, and it's going to be taken by Kirsten. He touches it, and the ball, I think, is still loose, but I think the Mountain Lions are the ones to come up with the ball.
I thought Javon Thrift may have got there before. Yes, he had.
Yep, Zeke Hauser was pointing in the direction of Norwin, but, well, you know that Kirsten's going to get a talking to here on the near sideline.
Give him a sticker for his helmet on that one. That was a big play by Javon Thrift.
A diving attempt for Kirsten. 3:09 to go here in quarter number 1. We have a scoreless ball game, but Norwin again will start with the ball inside its own zone, inside the Altoona zone. 1st and 10 from the 45. Trips to the right. Looking now, firing quickly to Gianni Rizzo. It's caught across the 40. Dances up to the 35. It gets across that up to about the 33. 12-yard gain on the first play of this drive, and looks like Norwin's in business again.
Yeah, nice easy pitch and catch. They were only covering him with 2 people. They had a trip formation out here. Might be an automatic at the line that they go to that. Nice throw by Jack. Good catch by Gianni. Norwin got themselves a first down.
1st and 10 now from the 33. Scoreless ball game. Still trips to the right. And it's going to be pump faking now. Salpak's just trying to get away from the tacklers and ends up going out of bounds. He's going to take a loss on that play, about 5.
Now, he definitely wanted to throw the ball away, but you could tell he was hesitant because the last time he threw the ball away, he got nabbed with a flag. So he tucked it in and just stepped out of bounds for a 4 or 5 yard loss.
The loss was of 4.
Can't get behind those sticks.
2nd and 14. Salpak to throw again. Steps up in the pocket this time, keeps it underneath, and he's going to get positive yards. He's going to look to get about 5.
They're going to be looking at a 3rd and 10, so he got the yardage he lost. It was actually a good play. He tucked it. There was nobody open. Instead of taking the sack, he ran the ball up the middle of the field for a positive gain of 5. So it brings up a 3rd and 10 for the Knights. Let's see what they come up with here.
2:10 to go in quarter number 1. Two backs to the left of Salapak. He's got 2 receivers to the left and 1 here to the near side. Handoff is going to go to Tevin Thrift. Bust some speed right up the middle. He's not going to get enough for the first down, but it's darn close. He's got about 9.
Yeah, it's going to bring up a 4th and very, very short. And I'm sure the Knights are going to go for it here.
Yeah, this is almost the same field positioning in that quote-unquote no man's land.
Especially when they do not have their field goal kicker. He supposedly is coming at halftime. He's at a soccer game. So definitely going to go for it on 4th and short here.
Oh, we've seen it's nothing unheard of from Norwin to go for it on 4th. I saw it a lot the last few years. It's very short. Tevin Thrift dances forward. He's not going to get it.
Tevin Thrift gets the call.
That's, I think, one of those cases, Coach, where you and I said earlier he did a little bit too much dancing in the backfield and needs to learn to go north and south before he can go east and west.
Yeah, especially on 4th and 1. You got to plant that foot, put your shoulder pads level to the ground and go. And hopefully, you knock a couple people out of your way, especially that short. So, unfortunately for the Knights, they turned the ball over again.
They'll bring up 1st and 10 now for Altoona. They have ran the ball every time to start their drive so far tonight. And it'll be the same case on this one. John Pickett comes up to make the stop on Patucci. Gain of about 3.
Yeah, Zeke Hauser and John Pickett up on the tackle. The tackling machine once again is getting his tackles early and often in this game.
One thing I noticed there, and you and I talked about it a lot last year with the secondary, Zeke Hauser just kind of lowered his shoulders here, a little shovel pass to Patucci. That is a forward pass, so it does go in as a pass. But again, there was a case right there where Zeke Hauser could have wrapped up and elected to go with his shoulder, and the back just kind of bounced off of him.
Yeah, gave him a couple extra yards. Pickett had to come over the top and clean it up, but a nice play for Altoona, giving them the first down.
14-0 now. Greensburg-Salem leads it over Ringgold. This game is scoreless with 20 seconds to go in the first quarter. Pass is complete. And nice open field tackle there by Zach Begg on the receiver. That was to Tyler Wagner.
Just a little crossing route coming in, but they're doing the play action, and they've ran the ball enough already in the first quarter that the linebackers from Norwin got to respect that. So they came up for the run, and the receiver got in behind the linebackers.
Well, that was a quick first quarter. It's scoreless here from Norwin Knight Stadium between Altoona and Norwin. When we come back, we'll get you going here on the second quarter here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Forget what you think you know about Neapolitan pizza and go to Del Forno in North Huntington. 2 wood-fired ovens from Naples, Italy create an unforgettable experience with their handcrafted pizzas. Friends and family alike will enjoy their comfortable atmosphere, and Happy Hour with Craft Beers offers a welcoming introduction to the best their ovens have to offer. Del Forno is located in the Banco Business Park in North Huntington. Eat in or for takeout, call 724-515-7012. Online at delfornorestaurant.com.
Norwin Teachers Federal Credit Union provides full banking services to all Norwin School District employees, area businesses, Norwin students, and their families. There's a branch conveniently located inside the high school, so Norwin students can access many of these banking services. For more information, visit them online at norwinteachersfcu.org or download their mobile app. Norwin Teachers Federal Credit Union is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration, equal housing lender.
Welcome back inside the Westmoreland Sports Network. Fake handoff as it's going to go near side here for Cam Fasek. A long throw. Is he going to get enough for the first down? Yeah, he will get plenty for the first down. He needed 5. He got about 8.
Yeah, a little page out of Norman's playbook. A quick screen to the far outside receiver. One blocker out there made a nice block and got to the outside, picked up the yardage for the first down. Altoona is starting to get some rhythm now, getting some momentum on the offensive side of the ball.
Oh, you and I both thought he got the first down, but they're marking him right to the sticks, so he only got 4 yards on that. 3rd and 1. Handoff is going to go to Lott. No, it's going to be Birchfield keeping it himself. He's not going to get enough for that first down.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be 4. Now they're moving him. Ooh. Wow. That was a quick mark and a quick move.
I think that might have been a make-up call. Because I thought Cam Fasek definitely got the first down on that reception by a couple of yards, but that wasn't the case. First down and 10, though, now. 2 receivers split to the left and 1 to the right. Blitz coming. It's going to be a shovel pass again to Patucci. Patucci, he's going to be met almost at the line of scrimmage and fall forward for about 2 yards. Jake Smedick there to wrap him up. Also Gage Luptak coming in to help.
Yeah, they ran that same play. They got the first down off of the quick pass to the inside running back, and Norwin actually blitzed right into it. Still a positive gain of a couple yards.
They'll give him 2. By the way, Coach, well, we'll get to it when Norwin gets on offense. 2nd and 8. This ball's going to be handed off. This time it's going to be Lawhead in the backfield. Gets up near the 45 to the 46. And he gets 3 yards on this one.
Yeah, they're sort of like filling each other out right now, trying to find out their weaknesses. They're probing to see what they can do. This is a big 3rd down here for Altoona to keep the sticks moving.
Altoona's 1 for 2 on 3rd downs tonight. Fake the handoff. Now it's going to be a pass, and it's going to be caught in stride, and breaking tackles up the sideline was Isaiah Barnes. Barnes needed 4, and he got more than that.
Just a quick hitter, that pass again. They have the numbers on the outside, 3 against 2. They put the ball out there for a big positive gain. Now Norwin got to tighten up.
Gain is of 14, 1st and 10. It's going to be a pitch to the outside, and it's Mitch Lawhead. Lawhead had a lot of room, hits the sticks as he's knocked out of bounds by Zeke Hauser.
They got great blocking from their 2 wide receivers on the Norwin secondary. There was actually nobody there when he pitched the ball. So a very easy option run for, looks like enough yardage for the 1st down.
He needed 11 yards, and he needed 10 yards, he got 11.
Yeah, they're moving him.
They have a broken stick, though, they're going to call a stop on the clock. As when he went out of bounds, he broke the sticks on the far side, so they need to make sure the chains are set.
Officials timeout on the field, having problems with the chains over there, it appears.
So right now, Norwin, well, they were been breaking. Right now it seems to just be that way, as this is the only drive so far that Altoona has stepped foot in Norwin's territory, and now within the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, this is a nice-looking drive. They're mixing it up, a little run, little pass. They got the night defense guessing right now, and Norwin got to tighten it up here. They're definitely in the red zone inside the 20.
10-13 to go here in this first half. Scoreless from the Knights Castle. It'll go shotgun for Birchfield. In the backfield with him is Patucci. Dropping back now, looking for Patucci. Fires now. It's caught and hit immediately by Tevin Thrift, but not after a gain of 5.
And that's what, when you talk to the recruiters that are coming in to recruit him, that's what they tell you that Tevin has. That closing speed from when a receiver catches the ball till he makes the hit is very, very fast.
He may have only been a step off of a pick 6 there as the clock ticks down to 10 minutes in this first half. Shotgun again, rolling right now, pitching a shovel pass up the middle. Zach Turkowski's there to sniff it out right away.
Yeah, good play by the Northern defense. They look like they were waiting for it. That's the 3rd time that play has been run in the 2nd quarter, and Norwin gets a good defensive charge from their front line and holds it to a very, very short gain.
No gain. This now brings up 3rd and 5. It's a shorter 5. As Birchfield goes shotgun. 2 receivers split to each side. And it's going to be Tyler Patucci to his left in the backfield. Blitz is on as there's Javon just missing it. Now a throw into the end zone over the head of the intended receiver, who was Connor Adams. It'll fall incomplete.
Yeah, good defensive call by the Knights. They came with the safety blitz. You don't see Javon missing too many tackles. That quarterback did a nice job eluding him. But he threw the ball almost through the upright. So great pressure bringing up 4th and 5. I'm pretty sure they're going to go for it here and try to pick up the 1st down.
It'll be a banana bunch here. Trips to the right. 1 receiver split to the left, and it's going to be Patucci in the backfield with Birchfield. 3 seconds now, 2 on the play clock. He just got it off on 4th down. Nope. They're going to call it, did they call a delay of game or did they call a timeout?
They had to call a delay of game, but the poor quarterback from Altoona got smacked by the Norwin outside linebacker that came in on the blitz.
I thought it was Zeke Hauser, but it was not Zeke Hauser.
Looked like Brandon Gustafaro, number 85, from his defensive end position. If the whistle was blowed, it was really, really late.
And they are going to get a delay of game penalty.
Wham. Yeah, he got smacked pretty good. I'd go over and talk to that official and say, what you want, blow it a little quicker.
Yeah, and it was hard to hear.
Yeah, I didn't hear it at all.
And they tell you to play through the whistle. If you don't hear the whistle, you can't fault Gustafaro for making the hit. Now, luckily, he didn't hit him hard enough.
And I'm pretty sure that's why there wasn't a flag thrown on him.
The offense will stay on the field on 4th down and 10. It'll be Birchfield to drop back. Almost no pressure on him. It's going to be intercepted in the end zone. Intercepted by Zach Begg. Begg will bring it out. He'll get across the 10 and up near the 15.
Nice play by Zach Begg. Went up, caught it at its highest point, and brought the ball out to the 11. He should have been better off just to knock the ball down, but you cannot tell a kid not to make an interception in the end zone. Nice play by Zach Begg, bringing the ball out to the 11-yard line. So Norwin, another big turnover by their defense, and hopefully they can cash in on this one, but they got a long, long field in front of them.
Salapak trots out there. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Norwin 11. Shotgun for the Knights. 2 receivers right, a tight end to the left with a wing back to the left. Handoff is going to go to Tevin Thrift. He's going to power forward for a few yards.
Yeah, they ran the ball right up over the center for a very, very short gain. But he did run north and south that time, Dave. Lowered his pads. If he would have did that on the 4th and short, he would have definitely made the first down. So maybe he learned a lesson from trying to dance too much in the hole. So 2nd and long for the Knights to see what they come up with. I look for some type of play action here and try to get some big yardage downfield.
2nd and 7 from the 14. Shotgun again for Salapak. He's going to go straight back. Now he's going to fire. It's going to be to Gates. Lubchak, almost a one-handed grab here at the 30-yard line, but it falls incomplete.
Yeah, and I don't think he needed to use one hand. I think he could have put 2 hands on that ball, and if he catches it, it's a big gain out to about the 35 or 40-yard line. Just a tight end flag pass. It was open. Jack put the ball there. Should have been caught, so a bad break for the Knights.
He'll bring up 3rd and 7. Now, this is one thing we saw last week as a struggle for the Knights was converting on 3rd downs. I believe they only converted maybe 2 or 3. They're 1 for 3 tonight. Bill Kirsten will line up near side of Zeke Hauser. I believe that's Dylan Kantz on the far side. Dropping back is Dieter. There's pressure on him. He rolls out, now fires. It's going to be rolled incomplete on the attempt to Zeke Hauser and bring up a 4th down and another 3 and out.
Yeah, absolutely. No time to set up in the backfield for Jack Selipik that time. The Altoona defense came very hard off the ball. He did a nice job rolling out, threw an incomplete pass to the sideline. Now the punt team trots on the field.
It'll be Zeke Hauser to punt the ball away. It'll be Mitch Lawhead with his heels at the 50. Hauser, a nice spiraling punt. It's going to take a bounce, and it'll go out of bounds on a couple Norwin rolls at the 38. Clock will stop at 7:57. And a nice switch of fields for the Knights.
Yeah, great punt.
The defense has to step up and tighten up here a little bit. I'll get some scores from around the Westmoreland County area. It's 14-0 Greensburg-Salem at the end of the first quarter over Ringgold. No score, Franklin Regional and McKeesport. Cannon Mac leads at 6-0 over Hempfield. That's at the end of the first quarter. Derry trails 13-0 to Elizabeth Forward. 21-6 is the Greater Latrobe Gateway game, and no score from Yonk and Beth Center. First play is going to be a handoff to Patucci up across the 40, and he's going to fall forward on a second effort up near the 45. They're going to mark him down just short of the 45 to the 44.
Yeah, a couple missed tackles in the middle by the Knights. He was actually stopped for no gain, and he did a 360 spin and got his legs back underneath him and ended up with a nice gain of 7 yards.
Fake the handoff. Now it's going to be a pass to Cam Fasek. Fasek tries to find some open room, but Javon Thrift says no. C.J. Taylor also in the area.
Another quick pass, quick screen, one man blocking out front. now you see Altoona getting that rhythm again, 2 plays and a first down, sort of like they did the last time they had the ball. So Norwin got to get a little more stingy here on their defense, make a defensive play.
Gain of 4 on the play for the first down. Shotgun again, fake the handoff, quick pass. It's going to be complete again to Fasek. Pickett there to make the stop with Dylan Kantz, but not after a gain of about 6 or 7.
Yeah, it was a quick play action and a quick out by the slot receiver, and Norwin had it covered nice, but a positive gain.
The gain is of 7 to Fasek. They'll bring up another second down and 3 with 7 minutes to go in this first half of action. No score. Fake the handoff, another quick pass. It's going to be complete across the middle, breaking a couple tackles, now getting across the 25 and up near the 20. Ball is loose, and it looks like Norwin's on it.
It's definitely a fumble. The ball was out before he hit the ground. It's just a question on who got it, and the Knights come up with another turnover. That's 3 in the first half. Now the offense has to do something here. They can't keep letting Altoona up off the ground. They do a great job on defense. They get a turnover. The offense got to get on and get the ball moving.
It was Tyler Wagner who coughed up the football.
Pickett, our boy Pickett, the tackling machine. That's the second fumble caused in the first half tonight. So he's playing his normal tough defense for the Knights.
Flip the ball, and it's now going to be 1st and 10 for Norwin at its own 21. Dropping back now, quick pass is going to be outside to Teventhrift, makes one man miss, gets across the 25, breaks a tackle, cuts middle, 30, now falls forward and gets the first down. Gain of 11 for Tevin.
Very athletic run by Tevin there, using his hand, keeping him off the ground. Made a nice move, made a guy from Altoona miss, and picked up the first down. So quick hitter, nice quick pass by Selopek to Tevin Thrift, and a good positive 10-yard gain for the Knights.
6.5 to go in the first half. No score. We've had a lot of turnovers here through this first half. Salopak now it's a blitz. Connects with his receiver. It's Gage Lovetak right up the middle for a gain of 8.
Yeah, good catch by Gage. Looks like he got the wind knocked out of him. Good hit by the Altoona defender, but Gage held on to the ball.
Augusta Ferro will come in for him.
Gain of 8 on the play, 2nd and 2 now for Norwin.
2nd and 2 as the clock's now under 6 minutes to go in this first half. I was going to say this cornerback here on the near side was lined up on the other side of the ball. Scrambling out now is going to be Salopak. He tells his man to go deep. Now he's going to tuck the ball under and run out of bounds, but enough yards for the first down. He needed 2, and he got about 5.
That was a nice decision. He gave his receiver a hand signal to go down the field, and that took the defense with him, and it opened up the right side for a nice gain and another first down for the Knights.
Greensburg-Salem now leads 21-0 over Ringgold. That game is in the first half. What I was saying before, Coach, is now Norwin has more yards in this half than they did all game last week. 92 unofficial yards.
Yeah, and I'll tell you after this play. Go ahead.
And it looks like it's Javon Thrift this time getting the handoff up to the 50 for a gain of about 4.
I think as the season progresses, you're going to find out through statistics. Penn Trafford got a pretty good defense. And,
oh yes, absolutely.
And Norwin, tried, and once that touchdown pass was called back, sort of took the wind out of their sails last week. But Penn Trafford's a solid team.
Well, they have a couple D1 recruits right there up on the front. Talking about Logan Hawkins, one of them. Shotgun again on 2nd down. Salopak tucks it under. He's got a lot of room in front of him. He's going to get across the 40 up near the 35, and he'll jump out of bounds at about the 37.
Making some very good decisions there in the last 4 minutes of the half, and he tucked it again. Maybe could have threw it downfield for 7 or 10-yard gain, but he tucked the ball, and he saw the open real estate, and he decided to take the sure thing. Nice run for another first down inside the 40.
13 yards on the gain. It'll be 1st and 10. Handoff. No, it's going to be a fake handoff. Now it's going to be pitch outside to Gianni Rizzo. He catches the ball and spins his way forward. He's going to get about 5 yards here on this.
That's a lot of motion for a 5-yard gain. They faked it to the back at the timing play. Quick screen to the wide receiver. He comes inside on a slant. Nice ball by Jack, getting him the ball. 5-yard gain for the Knights, looking at 2nd and 5 now.
Pass play good for 5, brings up 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5, ball at the 32. Timeout is going to be called by Coach Brzezinski. We'll take a timeout here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. No score with 4:08 to go in quarter number 2 here from Norwin Knights Stadium.
Hi, Westmoreland County football fans. This is Chad Ammon, president of the Westmoreland County Chamber of Commerce. At the Chamber, we open doors for businesses every day, providing our members with the tools, programs, and opportunities they need to grow. By helping our county businesses reach their goals, our community's overall quality of life is enhanced. Call 724-834-2900 or visit westmorelandchamber.com for your company to become a member of the Chamber of Commerce. The Westmoreland County Chamber of Commerce, building business, connecting communities, and empowering people.
For over 30 years, people have looked to us to be experts in orthopedic and sports physical therapy. And that is true. What a lot of people don't know is that we cover the gamut of age and condition to offer physical therapy in a number of different ways. We have specialists in hand therapy, concussion management, vestibular imbalance disorders, and total joint replacement. We transform lives every day.
Our focus is on your result. East Suburban Sports Medicine. Take it from me, Bill Hillgrove. It's the best care.
The night crew, the Norwin High School Army you see over there is what they call themselves here at the Knights Castle. No score here from Norwin Knights Stadium. We thank you for joining us here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. Dave Franzek alongside Tim McCabe. 2nd and 5, handoff goes to Rizzo. Rizzo wants to throw, and he's going to throw downfield. It's going to be in the direction of Bill Curson. He can't track it down, and the flag is thrown behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to go against Norwin. I'm going to guess in the lines of illegal motion.
Yeah, it looked like a motion penalty. I think Altoona is going to decline it to bring up a 3rd down.
And they will decline it.
So no harm, no foul, but not a good-looking play. Didn't really fool many people. Altoona had it well covered. And the old halfback option by Johnny Rizzo downfield. So it brings up a 3rd and definitely makeable yardage for the Knights.
3rd and 5. 4:02 to go in this half. 2 tight ends come in for Norwin. No, it was supposed to be a fake handoff. It's a busted play, and Salopak's going to try to get some yards out of it. I don't think he's going to get any yards out of it.
Yeah, I think the Knights got to go for it here. They got to get some points this half. They got to keep this momentum going. 4th and short, 4th and 4 or 5. Yeah, they're going to go for it. They got to get something here. And even if they don't get it, it's still a long field for Altoona. But Norwin definitely got a cap on a 3rd turnover that they got this half already.
0 for 1 on, and Coach Brzezinski's going to have to take another timeout. As I'm not sure if they saw something they didn't like defensively or
I think the 25-second clock was running down, so he chose to take the timeout rather than face a 4th and 10.
I know a couple of the coaches were there. I don't know if you could see it on the screen, but a couple of the coaches here on the near sideline were pointing to the far corner. It looked there was nobody over top. I don't know if you've noticed this, Coach, but it seems like there's almost no safeties there for Altoona's defense. Everybody's playing pretty much right over top.
Yeah, I think they're they're telling Norwin, if you're going to beat us, let Jack Salopek beat us. So I think the passes Norwin's been throwing so far, they're definitely going to set up another double move here and try to go with the deep ball. And if you remember last week, I believe it was on 4th down where they hit the touchdown pass, pretty much the same part of the field. Yeah. So maybe they're going to come up with something into the end zone.
The nearest safety is playing up to the 20, almost the 25-yard line. Ball spotted at the 32. 4th down and 5. Salopak has time. He's going to throw that pass. It's going to be caught by Bill Curson. Curson's going to reach for the end zone. Touchdown, Norwin.
Nice pass, nice route. Nice deep corner route by Burley Kirsten. Good ball by Jack Sellepeck. Easy pitch and catch for the Knights. They needed this, Dave. They needed it. They've been turning the ball over, the defense to the offense, and finally the Knights cash in.
6 connects with 14 for 32 and puts Norwin on the board. Zeke Hauser will trot in to attempt the point after from the hold of Brock Dieter. Snap is down, kick is up. It's high and it's through the uprights. 3:17 to go in the first half, and just like that, Norwin's on the board.
And you mentioned how the safeties for Altoona were moving in over on the hash marks, and what that does, that leaves that whole corner of the field. So the Norwin receiver came up, made a nice post move, got that safety to bite into the inside, then he broke it to the flag. I'm aging myself, the pylon for an easy touchdown.
We'll take a quick timeout here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. Norwin gets on the board 7-0, 3:17 to go in first half.
For over 30 years, people have looked to us to be experts in orthopedic and sports physical therapy. And that is true. What a lot of people don't know is that we cover the gamut of age and condition to offer physical therapy in a number of different ways. We have specialists in hand therapy, concussion management, vestibular imbalance disorders, and total joint replacement. We transform lives every day.
Our focus is on your result. East Suburban Sports Medicine. Take it from me, Bill Hillgrove. It's the best care.
Zeke Hauser will kick things off here after the Norwin touchdown on 4th down.
Yeah, I think that was a must drive for the Knights, Dave, and nice play call, great route by the receiver, and a good pass by Jack.
Hauser's run up, and he kicks it high end over end, and it's going to be taken by Patucci at the 15 across the 25. Tries to go outside, but he's stood up, and brought back by a pair of Norwin Knights. Bill Kirsten, the one who got the touchdowns, one of the men in there to make that stop.
Yeah, nice tackle by the kickoff coverage team. A hard hit drove the Altoona running back backwards, and the other two guys were scraping for the football. So Norwin's showing a lot of life here tonight, especially on defense.
1st and 10 for Altoona from its own 28.
Altoona has all 3 of their timeouts, so the clock should not be an issue here.
They've ran the ball every time on 1st down in tonight's game.
Yeah, Norwin, I don't know if they had enough guys on the field, but they definitely did not have the guy covered out here. They only have 10 guys on the field, so.
Well, that's going to be Bill Kirsten, the one that was not on the field for that. A little excited. We'll take another quick timeout here. 7-0, Norwin leads it over Altoona in the first half.
Up is progress.
Possibility.
Trees. Big old trees.
Up is a national leader in mobile technology.
Up is a world-class performing arts center.
Up is 94% job and graduate school placement.
When up is what you're after, look to Seton Hill, a nationally recognized Catholic liberal arts experience that will push your life and career to the highest point possible.
You can't make.
Well, we're back after timeout, and just as Norwin scored, McKeesport scores at 7-0 McKeesport over Franklin Regional. First down play is going to go long. It's going to be over the head of the intended receiver, Tyler Wagner. That's the first time that Altoona has passed on 1st down tonight.
Yeah, and they're throwing right into the strength of the Norwin defense. Man coverage by Tevin Thrift on the outside. And that last time out, Dave, I know that drives Coach Brzezinski crazy, as well as every coach, when you come out on the field after a touchdown and you have 10 guys on the field. You know, it's a concentration factor. It's a get-in-the-game factor. So I know he's not a happy person right now.
2nd and 10. Jake Smetic tries to chase down the quarterback. He does, and forces the quick pass to, I believe it was Patucci on the far side. It was caught, but Zeke Hauser rode him out of bounds for no gain.
I tell you what, Altoona's playing right into Norwin's hands right now. The first pass is incomplete. Hardly any time on the clock goes. The second pass, the guy runs out of bounds, stops the clock again for Norwin. They still have 2 timeouts, or they should have 1 timeout now. But they could stop the clock, and there's enough time to put a nice drive on here.
They're giving it a no gain. It'll be 3rd and it's going to be about 9, but as Birchfield throws downfield, and it's almost in the direction of Dylan Kantz for Norwin. The intended receiver was Tyler Wagner.
I'll tell you what happened there, Dave. It was a quick slant, and Jake Smedick at 6'4" put his arms up in front of the quarterback. He had to throw over his outstretched arms, and that made the ball sail high and to the left of the receiver. Great stop by the Knights defense. Hardly any time off the clock. Now Norwin's getting the ball back with 2:25, and they might get some pretty good field position here.
And they'll start with the ball to start the second half. As Altoona caught the ball to start the game, fumbled the ball in the first play from scrimmage, recovered by Norwin. Pettucci will punt it away, and it's a terrible kick for Altoona. A good kick for Norwin as it bounces out of bounds right at the 40-yard line. I believe, is that Coach Socrates who makes the catch there on the near sideline?
He has good hands for a big man. He always did. Yeah, he made a nice catch on that ball, and Norwin's in good shape on the 40-yard line.
Well, Norwin will get the ball. They're going to spot it out of bounds at the 41. Do we have a replay of that? That was good.
He was reverting back to his linebacker days at KU.
Empty set for the Knights. No timeouts for the Knights as they'll start this drive at 2:19. Salapak drops, looks, fires quickly, and it's out of the area of Tevin Thrift.
Yeah, he threw the ball too early there. He had the number one receiver on a streak route down to the hash mark, was wide open, and Jack threw the ball a little bit too early to the out route. I think if he pumps it there and goes deep, it's an easy 6 for Norwin. So just something he has to learn. He's still a sophomore. He's still a young quarterback. He has to learn the intricacies of the position.
2nd and 10 again, another empty set. Salapak, quick pass is going to be to Rizzo on the outside. Guy tries to come back middle, now goes upfield. Gets across the 40, and he's going to be brought down by a couple of defensive linemen. Not after a gain of about 5, even though he ran about 20.
Yeah, the first thing you teach a receiver is do not run towards the big linemen because they're very big and they hit hard. And Gianni brought the ball from the hash mark back to the middle of the field.
Bring up a 3rd down. A flag as Tevin Thrift gets some open room across the 30, and Norwin knows it's against them. As you can see, all the coaches put their hands on their heads.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a motion penalty. Norwin jumped before the ball was snapped. Once again, a timing play, something that it's early in the season, it's early in the year, those things are going to happen.
Whoever was the receiver on the near side, I think it was Dylan Kantz, I think took off just a second early.
It would have been a 1st down. Now it's going to be 3rd and 10. So big penalty, mental mistake from the Knights, another one in this half.
Beth Center gets on the board at 6-0 over Yonk at the half. Franklin Regional trails 7-0 to McKeesport. This game is 7-0, 1:42 to go in this half. It's only a 5-yard penalty against Norwin, and I think that's only the 2nd official penalty against Norwin tonight. They had that one called that was declined. They'll bring up a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Altoona should loosen up their secondary a little bit here. Norwin could take a shot for the end zone again.
2 back this time for Altoona as Jack wants to throw it deep again to Kirsten. Kirsten was in the area, but also was a pair of Altoona defenders as the ball falls incomplete.
Yeah, I actually thought the ball was going to be overthrown, and it ended up being a little bit underthrown. And could have been a big collision, but the ball hit the turf for no interception or catch. 4th down, Norwin's punt team's on the field.
The woes continue on 3rd down. Now unofficially 1 of 6 is Norwin on 3rd downs. Zeke Hauser will punt the ball away. And he does get another beautiful punt off as it's going to take a bounce. A couple good Norwin bounces. It'll be down inside the 15 to the 12.
Yeah, excellent punt. Pinning them back deep, and with 1:10 left, you might see 3 runs into the line of scrimmage here.
Norwin will get the ball to start the second half as Altoona elected to receive the opening kickoff. Tanner Queen, well, he checked in and now he comes back out as it's going to be Bill Kirsten replacing him. Shotgun formation. Hand the ball off to Lawhead. Lawhead has some room on the outside, now gets up near the sticks, and I think he's going to be pushed down for a gain of about 5 or 6.
Yeah, gain of 5, run on first down, stops the clock whether he wanted to or not. I'm not sure, but I don't know. I don't know if Altoona's going to try to move the ball here or not. They should be very happy the score is 7-0. It could very easily be 14, 21-0 at this time. So, go ahead, I'm sorry.
6. No, you're good.
Yeah, I think just go into the halftime and regroup and come out the second half.
6 yards on that gain. They still have all their timeouts left. It's going to be another handoff. It's going to be to, I believe it's Lawhead. It's going to be Patucci this time. Patucci steams forward for about 2.
Norwin's grabbing at the ball, Dave. They want that ball on the turf again. And Gage Luptak from his linebacker came in and started ripping at the football. But good possession by the Altoona running back.
Cody Piper also there to wrap up.
I think you hold them here for Norwin. You call a timeout, you make them punt the ball. Anything can happen on a punt.
Shotgun again. 3 receivers to the left. They're going to be content to let this clock run as low as they can. It's going to be handoff to Lawhead. Lawhead goes outside. I don't think he got enough for the sticks.
And I think he's out of bounds to stop the clock, although the clock is running. I don't know why the clock is running. Well, they let it run.
Yep, and they'll be okay with that as Norwin will get the ball to start in half number 2. That gain was of 2 for Lawhead. Not enough. That counts as their 6th third down they've faced, and they've only completed 2 of them. Norwin, they lead at 7-0. When we come back, we'll wrap up, give you some stats of the first half, and we'll get into halftime here on the on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Imagine lying on a cozy hammock nestled in the trees, or sitting around a campfire roasting marshmallows with the family. How does a relaxing weekend of fishing sound? You can do it all at Pioneer Family Campground at Raystown Lake. Located near the largest lake in Pennsylvania, Pioneer Family Campground has premium camper sites to give you the relaxation you deserve, or stay in one of their beautiful log cabins. Visit PioneerFamilyCampground.com or call 814-658-CAMP. Pioneer Family Campground. Once you're here,
it may be fall, but baseball season will be here before you know it. Atlantic Coast Baseball, based right here in Westmoreland County, organizes the biggest and most competitive AAU tournaments in the region, bringing more than 1,000 teams into Western PA since May. This spring, Atlantic Coast Baseball will host its Spring Baseball League, featuring 3 divisions and over 100 teams expected. To register, visit playacbaseball.com. Atlantic Coast Baseball. We're passionate about the game of baseball.
For up to the second Westmoreland County High School football scores on Friday nights this season, follow us on Twitter at WestmorelandSN or get updates on our scores tracker on WestmorelandSports.com. You can also follow us for links to broadcasts and stories, pictures, breaking news, and a lot more. A huge thank you goes out to our staff back in the studio who's tweeting scores right now on at WestmorelandSN and updating our scores tracker on WestmorelandSports.com.
Visit the Glass City Stained Glass Restoration and Gift Shop in the heart of downtown Jeanette. They offer endless possibilities of stained glass colors and textures with a large selection of lead, copper foil, tools, and equipment. They repair and restore churches, your home, or your business. The Gift Shop has sun catchers, night lights, stepping stones, photo art, and more. Imagine beautiful stained glass windows in your skylights, family rooms, or foyer. They also offer stained glass classes. Stop by the Glass City or call 724-527-CITY, online at the Glass.
At Dehar Orthodontics, we understand how important choosing the right doctor is to you. Meet doctors Philip and Nicholas Dehar. They've been putting their patients first for over a combined 45 years. Both are certified in traditional metal braces, cosmetic braces, and Invisalign. Dehar Orthodontics also treats TMJ disorder and sleep apnea. Open Monday through Saturday, it's Dayhart Orthodontics in Greensburg, Irwin, and
Tonight's live Knights football broadcast on the Westmoreland Sports Network is being made possible by the support of the Norwin Football Boosters. President Bob Rizzo, Vice President Jen Turkowski, Treasurer Heather Neubauer, Secretary Ginny Gustafaro, and the rest of the boosters wish good luck to Coach Dave Brzeski and the Knights this season. For more on Norwin football, follow the Knights on Twitter at @KnightsFBall. The Norwin Football Boosters, making it possible for our student athletes to experience high school sports at its highest level.
We welcome you back inside the Westmoreland Sports Network. You see the Altoona Mountain Lion Marching Band as they make the trip from Blair County with their football team tonight here at Norwin Knights Stadium. At halftime, it's 7-0 Norwin. It very well could be very much more than that. It could be, as you were saying, Coach, about a 21-0 game. Gianni Rizzo on the opening drive, fumble recovery, drops the ball into the turf right at the goal line on a, I believe it was like a 3rd and 1 or a 4th and 1 attempt from right there, very short. I'm sorry, it was 1st and goal from the 1, and he dropped the ball right at the line and was recovered. That could have been 7 points on the board right away. A couple other mishaps. You had a nice drive developing. I believe it was the series after that. A big penalty called on the intentional grounding on Jack. Brings the ball back to make it a 2nd and 25, 26 on that area. So there's some missed opportunities. They finally do get on the board. As you can see, some first half highlights rolling here as we're wrapping things up. But though the one good thing that I can see, Coach, is they have more yards, Norwin does, almost on the ground than they did all week last week unofficially.
Yeah, they do, and they're doing some good things offensively tonight, a lot better than they did last week, and I think it's the defense isn't as good as Penn Trafford's defense, but Norwin's taking what Altoona's giving them, and they're moving the ball methodically down the field. A couple nice big plays, and then that big touchdown pass for the Knights towards the end of the half, giving them 7-0 lead.
I guess we should go through our scoring update. I believe, is this the replay of the touchdown, Dan? That's good timing there, right there. As the only scoring of this game came in the second quarter, as Jack Salapak found his receiver Bill Kersen from 32 yards out on a 4th down play. You see Kersen had a nice effort there at the end and leaned forward to get into the end zone, so good job by him. I believe that's only his 2nd career touchdown. He had one late in the season last year in some mop-up duty, and it's his first one of the season as Norwin didn't put any points on the board last week in week 0. Coach and I talked about it in the pregame show, if you remember hearing it, about how last week, well, yeah, it meant something on the field, but it really meant nothing on paper. So it's a fresh start for Norwin as they got to get a lot of good game experience against a very good defense in Penn Trafford, and I think you're seeing that pay off tonight against Altoona.
Yeah, not only that, as a head coach, you look at all facets of your game. The special teams, the punting has been outstanding. The kickoff coverage has been outstanding. And you look tonight, Penn Trafford, I believe they have 35 points in the first quarter. So holding them to just a field goal last week, now you're into your second game and you have yet to have a touchdown scored upon you in 6 quarters. So you're looking at your defense and you're saying, man, we might have something here. We might have a pretty good defense this year. So Norwin got to be excited about that. And now the offense, it's their chance to catch up to the defense. And that will come with time. You have to remember this kid's only a sophomore. This is his first couple games that he's been named the go-to guy. So he's going to get better every game. The defense is going to get better every game. The receivers are going to get better. The running backs are going to get better. So Norwin has to use this game as a building block for the games to come up in the future.
Let's take a look at some of the unofficial stats here we have for John Franco's Mountain Lions. On the ground, leading the way is going to be Mitch Lawhead. He's got 5 carries for 22 yards. Tyler Petrucci has 3 carries for 12 yards. Other than that, Birchfield has a couple carries for 4 yards, and Tyler Wagner has that 1 carry for 4 yards as well. Through the air, Birchfield is 12 of 15 with an interception, and he is 53 yards through the air. His longest is of 14. He does want to have one of negative yards, that one going to Mitch Lawhead. Leading receiver right now is Cam Fasek. He's got 4 receptions for 21 yards. Just behind him is Petrucci, 5 receptions, 15 yards. And Isaiah Barnes has 1 reception for 14 yards. Total yards, 42 on the ground, 58 through the air, 100 total for the Mountain Lions in the first half. They are 2 of 6 on third downs. They've lost 2 fumbles and have committed 22 yards in penalties. For the Knights, you have your leading rusher coming up, Tavon Thrift. He's had 5 carries of 25 yards, good of 5 per carry. Jack Salapak has a good amount of yards on the ground. He's got 5 carries for 18 yards. Other than that, Javon Thrift, 2 carries, 9 yards, and Gianni Rizzo has 2 carries for 6 yards, giving 58 yards on 14 carries, an average of 4.1 yards a carry. Not bad for the first half. Through the air, Jack Salapak is 7 of 13 for 92 yards and a touchdown. That touchdown coming of 32 yards. He's got a 20-yarder, a 12, 11, and a 32. Through the air, receiving-wise, the leading receiver is Bill Kirsten, that 1 reception for 32 yards. Gage Lubtak has 2 receptions for 28 yards. Johnny Rizzo, 3 for 21. And Tevin Thrift has 1 for 11. So that's 58 yards on the ground, 92 through the air to give you an even 150 total. But the woes continue on third down, 1 of 6 on third downs for this offense. But they are 1 of 2 on fourth downs, as that touchdown came on a fourth down. They've got 2 penalties for 20 yards.
And we said it in the beginning, both teams look like they were sort of probing the defenses of each other, trying to see what would work, what they could get. Altoona has never yet, except towards the end of the first half, tried to stretch the field on Norwin, where Norwin, conversely, has stretched the field on Altoona. So it seems to be that Norwin is trying to go to the big play quicker and more often than Altoona is, and the quarterback's actually doing a nice job, but you see the total yards, 53 passing yards. So that tells you it's short, quick, controlled passing. And sooner or later, if you have to open the field up, you have to stretch the field. You got to make Norwin play sideline to sideline, end zone to end zone. So Altoona needs to come out and try to spread that offense in the second half to get Norwin to adjust for their defense.
Well, a handful of those completions, if you can remember, for Birchfield, I want to say they were somewhere in the middle of his completions right now, where quick snaps, as we saw Nick Amendola do a few years ago, where he basically called all the plays there from the line of scrimmage and was, no huddles, dropping back, maybe a 2-step drop, passing it right away, maybe for a couple of yards. And there was, I'm going to say, maybe 3 or 4 in a row like that he completed. And you're right, I don't know if they're trying to bring Thrift in and maybe take advantage of him trying to maybe cheat up a little bit, and that's where they want to stretch the ball. But even if they try to do that, there's some great speed in that secondary.
Well, yeah, not only do you have Tevin Thrift on the corner, and he is Norwin's what you would call his shutdown corner, you have Javon Thrift sitting back in the middle of the field like a ball hawk, just waiting for them to throw deep. And Zach Begg comes up with a big interception down in the end zone. So once again, Norwin flexing their muscles on defense, 3 turnovers in the first half. And I think, Dave, if you remember what we talked about last year, if you're plus on turnovers, you're going to win a lot of football games. And every time Norwin was plus on turnovers last year, they won football games. So great start for the Knights this half. And they had a good start last week against Penn Trafford, intercepting the ball in the first quarter in the end zone again. So their defense is bending a little bit. It's tightening up in the red zone, and they're playing good turnover ball hawking defense.
I can't remember what the magic number was 2 or 3.
2 or 3 it was last year. If they got that number of turnovers, they usually won the football game.
I think they were undefeated.
Yeah.
If I can remember, they were undefeated.
If they had that turnover ratio. And it's not just Norwin. It's any team, any football team that has the ball turned over to them should score more points than their opposition. But, we're seeing a thing here in this start of the season where Norwin's defense, I think it's starting to look like a good, strong, solid defense. And they're going to need it for later on this year when they've got to play the Bethel Parks and the Mount Lebanons.
Yeah, well, let's step aside here and let's let the Norwin Knights marching band take over here. It's 7-0 Norwin over Altoona at halftime. We'll join you back and sit back and relax and watch some Norwin marching band.
First of all, fans, how about a nice big hand for them as they exit the field?
Well, we want to thank the Norwin Knights Marching Band for their great performance. They do a good job every year. At least the last 5 years that I've been here, they've done a great job, and I'm sure they've done it in the past, one of the great traditions of high school sports. But we're going to take another timeout here. When we come back, we'll wrap up halftime here and get you ready for the start of the second half. It's 7-0 Norwin here on the Norwin Knights Sports Network. It's the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Forget what you think you know about Neapolitan pizza and go to Del Forno in North Huntington. 2 wood-fired ovens from Naples, Italy create an unforgettable experience with their handcrafted pizzas. Friends and family alike will enjoy their comfortable atmosphere, and Happy Hour with Craft Beers offers a welcoming introduction to the best their ovens have to offer. Del Forno is located in the Banco Business Park in North Huntington. Eat in or for takeout, call 724-515-7012. Online at delfornorestaurant.com.
Norwin Teachers Federal Credit Union provides full banking services to all Norwin School District employees, area businesses, Norwin students, and their families. There's a branch conveniently located inside the high school, so Norwin students can access many of these banking services. For more information, visit them online at norwinteachersfcu.org or download their mobile app. Norwin Teachers Federal Credit Union is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration, equal housing lender.
Hi, Westmoreland County football fans. This is Chad Ammon, president of the Westmoreland County Chamber of Commerce. At the Chamber, we open doors for businesses every day, providing our members with the tools, programs, and opportunities they need to grow. By helping our county businesses reach their goals, our community's overall quality of life is enhanced. Call 724-834-2900 or visit westmorelandchamber.com for your company to become a member of the Chamber of Commerce. The Westmoreland County Chamber of Commerce, building business, connecting communities, and empowering people.
This is your County Commissioner, Ted Kopis. I am proud to sponsor a great tradition of high school football in Westmoreland County. Best wishes to all of the players and coaches who work so hard all year, to the cheerleaders, band members, and fans who represent their schools so well, and a special thanks to all the parents who sacrifice so much for these students. This is your County Commissioner, Ted Kopis. Enjoy the game and enjoy all that Westmoreland County has to offer.
Paid for by Committee for Kopis. Visit Ted Kopis.
The OG is a revolutionary piece of equipment that allows a person either walking or running to function at a fraction of their body weight, which takes the weight off of their joints and allows for pain-free activity. Cardiac patients impaired by hip or knee pain are now given the opportunity to walk to exercise their heart. To walk on air, now that's truly magical.
Return to your activities quickly and safely. East Suburban Sports Medicine. Take it from me, Bill Hillgrove. It's the best care.
Well, we welcome you back inside the Westmoreland Sports Network. It's a 7-0 lead Norwin right now at the half as both teams stretch out and get started for the second half. It's been a much more productive first half for the Knights. It could be even better. A couple untimely turnovers and penalties have cost points off the board for the Knights, but they still lead at 7-0 on a 32-yard touchdown pass from Jack Salapak to Bill Kirsten, and that's where we sit. 7-0, Norwin leads it. Coach, what does Norwin have to do to get to that level where they can just finish repetitively? Because, I mean, this offense, right now it seems like it's clicking, where last week they were still trying to figure out what they were offensively.
Yeah, it's looking better than it did last week, but then again, it's not as good as it should be, or it's not as good as the coaches want it. So they have to come out, start running the ball a little play action pass. The offensive line is doing a much better job this week than they did last week. Last week, Jack Selopek was running almost every time he dropped back, he was getting flushed. This week, when he is getting flushed, it's sort of on his terms. He's tucking the ball, he's making the defense respect the run, and he's either dumping the ball off or he's taking the ball off the field for good positive gains. So he's doing a nice job taking what the defense is giving him, but they're missing that consistency. And when you turn the ball over and you start on the 20, you start on the 50, you start on the 40, and you're not getting any points, you're not happy about that. So that's what they need to finish. Their defense is giving them the ball in great field position, and the offense isn't finishing. So that's something they're going to work on You really can't do it at halftime, because it's not a defense where you can make an adjustment. It's an offense where it might be a timing thing or it might be a blocking thing. So offense is a little more intricate, but if the defense keeps playing the way it's playing, it should give the ball back to the offense in good field position. So we've always said it last year, Dave, the most important possession of the game is this one in the second half, the first one.
And it'll be Norwin's ball to start the second half, or at least to the kickoff at that point, as Norwin will receive this opening kickoff in this half, as Altoona elected to receive the ball to start the game. Well, like you said, the first possession's the biggest, and I think last week, did Norwin receive the ball to start the second half? If they did, they went 3-and-out to start that first drive, and it was kind of a downhill slope for them at that point.
Right.
An uphill climb for them.
Yeah.
It was downward, whatever you want to call it, whatever cliche you want to say. It just kind of unraveled from that point on, and I think this team seems to be a lot more, even just in generalities. I think this team seems to be a lot more composed tonight than they did last week.
Well, like I said, even though it's week 0, it's a very, very big rivalry for Norwin, and there's a lot of pressure on the kids, a lot of pressure on the coaches. So now they got that one under the belt. They lost. I know they would have won, but you treat it as what it was, an exhibition game, and you focus and concentrate on this game, which is the first game that counts as a league game.
If Dan Flickinger doesn't already get enough notoriety from this network, he wants to jump in for quick moments.
No, it has nothing to do with me. This is something definitely of interest to all the Knights fans and Westmoreland County fans listening out there, and it's actually very sad because this kid is a very good kid. We were told that Justin Slowoski, the outstanding Hempfield quarterback, is out with a separated shoulder in their game right now against Cannon McMillan. So.
Well, that explains the 28-14
for Justin.
score.
Yeah. So that's big, and hopefully he'll be able to come back. But Coach, you can talk about this. I mean, a separated shoulder for a quarterback.
It depends if it's his throwing arm or isn't. Jimmy Cooper was my quarterback, separated his shoulder, and he could continue to play because it was his non-throwing shoulder. But you can't take hits like you used to, and it's a very, very painful injury. So tough break for Coach Bowen and the Spartans.
Alex Beardenelli will kick things off here to start the opening kickoff, and it'll be a short kick as it's going to take a couple bounces, and downing the ball is going to be Johnny Rizzo inside his own 20 to I believe it's going to be the 17 is where they're going to mark the ball.
Yeah, that was actually a good kick and a smart play by Rizzo. He could have picked it up and tried to get positive yardage, but the Altoona defense was ready to swarm upon him, so he decided just to cover the ball up and protect the ball.
I think the one thing that's missing this year offensively for the Knights is that quote-unquote splash player. Last year you had a handful of them in Delfemini and Aaron Carr, Kyle Tarkovsky. This year, no one really has stepped up in that position. First down and 10 is going to be a handoff to a Thrift. I couldn't see which Thrift it was. I believe it was Tevin. The gain is of 6 nonetheless.
Yeah, it was Tevin, number 1. Nice hard run right up the gut for a positive 5 yards, maybe 6. Good set the tone run. And Norwin got to keep moving the chains here. Sort of take, if you're Altoona, you're coming out in the second half saying, hey, guys, we can't play any worse than we did in the first half. We had all kind of bad breaks. We're only down 7-0, so let's try to get some positive things going here.
A short 2nd and 5 for the Knights. Salapak gets a wild snap. He's going to throw it. It's almost intercepted, but it's caught by Zeke Hauser across the 30, 35. Stiff arms a man outside the 40. And there's a flag in the backfield. I think it's going to be in the area of a roughing the passer as Salapak was on his back.
And there's also a flag late out of bounds on either the runner or the tackler.
I think it's going to be against Zeke Hauser because Coach Brzezinski grabbed him by the shoulder pads and brought him back.
So I don't know if these are dead ball fouls or one's a dead ball foul and one's not a dead ball foul. But this should take a couple minutes to figure out here.
Oh, there's a flag back here. You can see the far official.
Yeah, that's probably roughing the quarterback. And then down here on the 40-yard line, there was an altercation between the tackler and the runner.
Isaiah Barnes was the man that rode Hauser out of bounds. It is a roughing the passer. And it's an unsportsmanlike conduct.
I don't know, they might offset.
And replay the down.
Great catch by Hauser because the ball actually went through the defender's hands. And Zach, great concentration, and then he turned the ball up. It's a shame because it was a big gainer down to the 40-yard line. Now, the only difference is if it was a dead ball foul, which I think it might be, they're going to move the ball 15 yards forward, and then they're going to move the ball back.
So it's one of those rare events where a penalty is a positive yardage.
Yeah, because it was a dead ball foul.
Right.
If it was during the play, they would have did the down over. So it turns out good for Norwin. They actually gain a first down and positive yardage. Now the difference being it was on the end of the play for the roughing the passer, and then the other penalty goes from the yards that they made from the penalty back. So positive play for Norwin. They got the ball near the 50-yard line.
It's going to be it's going to be almost right where Zeke Hauser was ridden out of bounds. So the gain was of 12. It's going to be an end around for Gianni Rizzo. Flying up, though, to make the stop was Hunter Staudner.
Yeah, nice play by Hunter coming up from his either corner or safety position. Looked like Norwin had something going there, but he defeated the blocker and came in underneath. Still a 3-yard gain for the Knights, but now we're stretching the field. Norwin's going sideline to sideline now. Now Altoona got to spread out a little bit. Now look for the attack down the middle with the hash marks on some kind of go route.
2nd down and 7 after the gain of 3. Quick pass to Gianni Rizzo. Dances out of one tackler and is going to be ridden out of bounds by Patucci as well as Nick Villano.
Quick hitting, quick screen pass, just maybe a small gain, but positive yardage. Nice pass by Selipek to Rizzo for a couple yards. And I still think they're trying to set something up here on a double move coming up, trying to surprise the Altoona defense.
Gain was of 3.
I would be telling my corners right now, don't go for the first fake, don't go for the first ball. Protect the deep pass because I think Norwin's trying to lull them into something here.
Shotgun formation with a tight end. And he has the tight end down the seam. He's going to look for him. It's Gage Luptak. A nice catch by Luptak over the shoulder and up near the 10-yard line. A big play there for the Norwin Knights.
Right down the seam. They spread it wide. Then they do that quick play action. Jack looked to the left and threw right back the hash mark. They set him up from the beginning here of the second half. Great play call. That was a tremendous catch by Luptak. Way up over his head and brought the ball down for a big positive gain.
The Norwin Knights have entered the Norwin Teachers Federal Credit Union Red Zone. Student accounts are available at their branch inside Norwin High School. Savior the savings. First and 10. Fake the handoff initially. Drop back to pass. He's got a man open. He had about 3 men open in the end zone. Yeah, Zeke Hauser, one of them right in the middle.
He had 3 receivers wide open, and I think he couldn't believe they were that wide open, and he threw the ball wide and high to the inside receiver. It looked like Gianni Rizzo. He'd like to have that one back for sure.
That pass to Luptak was good for 41 yards.
Yeah, that was a pretty play. That was a pretty football play.
As now it's 2nd down and 10 from the 11. Handoff. It's going to be Javon Thrift losing yards. He's going to lose about 4.
Yeah, not a good execution there. Altoona almost looked like they knew what the play was called. Their entire defense was waiting for Mr. Thrift at the line of scrimmage. Actually lost yardage, brings up a big 3rd down. Norwin needs to convert here. I don't know if they can. They might be in field goal range now inside the 15-yard line, but they definitely got to get something positive here.
I'm going to say it's a loss of 3 to bring up a 3rd and 13. Shotgun for the Knights. Rolling left is Salapak. He's going to find Zeke Hauser, and he overthrows Hauser.
Yeah, that's not a high percentage pass. It's a timing route with the quarterback running to his left. He's a right-handed quarterback. It's not a real high percentage pass. and especially on 3rd and 14. If he catches it, he's going to be 3-4 yards short anyway.
A soccer game is over as Carter Breen trots on to take the field goal attempt. It's going to be of about 31 from the right hash from the hold of Brock Dieter. Snaps down, kick is up, kick is splitting the uprights, and the soccer player knows to put it over the bar this time, makes it 10-0 Norwin, 9:32 to go in the third quarter here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Imagine lying on a cozy hammock nestled in the trees, or sitting around a campfire roasting marshmallows with the family. How does a relaxing weekend of fishing sound? You can do it all at Pioneer Family Campground at Raystown Lake. Located near the largest lake in Pennsylvania, Pioneer Family Campground has premium camper sites to give you the relaxation you deserve, or stay in one of their beautiful log cabins. Visit pioneerfamilycampground.com or call 814-658-CAMP. Pioneer Family Campground. Once you're here,
Carter Breen comes back from his soccer game for the Knights and puts his first attempt of the season up and through the uprights to make it a 10-0 Norwin lead with 9:32 to go in this third quarter of play. Next week, the Knights will travel to Shaler area in a non-conference game. It's a 6A Class 6A game, but it is not a non-conference. There's not a Southeastern Conference game. That game will be at 7 o'clock. Tim and I will be on the air at 6:30 from Shaler area. Breen will kick it off as it's going to be Connor Adams as well as Mitch Lawhead deep to receive Breen's kickoff. The trot, and it's a high end-over-end kick. Takes a couple bounces. Ball's loose. It's still, oh, nope. Thrift was trying to get his way in there, Javon, but jumping on the ball was Lawhead. Zeke Hauser's fired up, man. That's getting another little extracurricular activity there with one of the blockers for the Mountain Lions.
Yeah, I don't know if that kick was intentional, but
I was wondering that myself.
It was beautifully executed. Norwin was very close to recovering it on the 20-yard line. So very big right now. The Norwin defense cannot have a letdown. They got to keep playing the tough defense that they've been playing all night.
Shotgun formation for Braden Birchfield. Sends Cam Fasek across the formation, hands it off to him. Coming up to make the stop, though, is going to be Cody Piper. I'm sorry, let me correct myself. Franco Gaudio makes the stop after the gain of about 1.
Yeah, nice play by Franco from his linebacker position. I'm not seeing Gage Lubtak in on defense. Oh, yeah, there he is, number 8. He was up on the outside linebacker position that time. Good play by the Norwin defense, 2nd and long.
Gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8. Birchfield hands it off up the middle. That guy gets up to the 25. As it was Patucci. Gets a couple of yards out of it. Gets about 3. Make it a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, a solid 5, a long 5.
Norwin leads it by 10.
3rd down and 5.
Show blitz. Quick pass. It's complete across the middle. And coming up to lay the boom is Javon Thrift. Not after the first down, though, to Tyler Wagner.
And he does have that closing speed of the ball, but nice pitch and catch for Altoona, giving them the first down. Norwin set an outside linebacker blitz. Good read by the quarterback, and Javon comes up and puts the lumber down. Nice hit.
Here's a big play on the right side. It's Patucci across the 40 and up to the 35.
Yeah, that was a big letdown from the Knights there on a quick hitter up the middle. Javon Thrift actually over-pursued to the inside. The runner cut back in arm tackle through Javon for a big, big gain down to the 35-yard line.
31 yards on that play. Cam Fasek gets on a quick pitch, missing the tackle initially, but getting some help from one of his defenders was Zeke Hauser as Cam Fasek only gets about a yard on that.
Secondary hit made by John Pickett once again from the middle linebacker position. for a 0 gain. Brings up 2nd and 10. Knights need to toughen up.
Bring up a 2nd down and 10. 7.5 to go in this third quarter. 3 receivers right. And it's going to be a quick pass outside. Pass is complete across the 30, up to the 20. Ridden down across the 20 and into the red zone. Well, it's complete to Jonah Brandt.
Nice quick hitter to the outside. They had 3-on-2 out there, and they took advantage of it. 2 good blocks downfield for a big gain.
Up to the 18. Blitz is coming, picked up nicely. Passes into the end zone, and it's overthrown. And I think they were going for Wagner on that far side.
And Norwin had a good defensive call. They came with the inside blitz. The quarterback had to throw it in a hurry. If he hands the ball off, it's a 5-yard loss. Great coverage downfield on the sideline by, looks like Billy Kirsten, number 14, on the wide receiver. So bringing up a 2nd and long for the Mountain Lions.
2nd and 10. Handoff. Dancing around and almost out of a tackle of Gianni Rizzo was Patucci. Gaining about 2 or 3.
Yeah, he's starting to run hard in the second half. His legs are turning. Almost broke that tackle. It would have been a nice gain if he did. Probably enough for the first down. Big third down in this game right here. Big third down.
3 of 7 are the Mountain Lions on third down. Coming up to the line is Birchfield. Goes back into shotgun position. Drops back, the blitz is on, and it's going to be forcefully thrown and almost into the hands of Lawhead in the end zone, or excuse me, Patucci in the end zone.
Yeah, they ran the wheel route out of the backfield, but the back was supposed to pick up the blitz, and he did not because he was in the pattern. Quarterback had to throw the ball and just barely overthrew him running down the sideline. That would have been an easy 6 points, but the ball was overthrown.
The reason why he was so open deep downfield was because Javon Thrift, for the second time we've noticed, is coming up from his safety position on that blitz. He was the man applying pressure. They're going to go for it on fourth down. Shotgun. Birchfield drops back. Wants to fire. Goes across the middle, and it's out of the hands of Cam Fasek, and a turnover on downs.
Good coverage down the middle by the Norwin secondary. A little bit of pressure on the quarterback. Big defensive stand. Once again, Norwin was bending, but they did not break. So now they turn the ball over to the offense.
It'll be a long field challenge for Jack Salapak, as he'll start the ball. Coach, I don't know if it's planned this way, but so far, Norwin on first down in their series has gone run, pass, pass, run, pass, pass, run. So maybe we're going to get a pass here.
Maybe we'll get a pass, pass. Definitely should be play action if they're going to throw the ball down this deep.
6:14 to go in quarter number 3. Norwin leads it 10-0. Gianni Rizzo in motion. Fake the handoff. Now it's going to be a quick swing pass to Rizzo. Rizzo across the 20. Sidesteps one man. Gets across the 25, 30, 35, 40, and out of bounds up near the 40-yard line. Now keep the pattern, as that's a pass on first down, and that's a big gain.
And that was a great catch. The ball was low down around his shoe tops. He caught it and then turned the ball up the field for a big gain for the Knights, bringing the ball out to about the 35-yard line. So out of the hole they come. Let's see if they can get this momentum going and keep it going.
20 yards on that completion, as Jack Salpak is now up to 168 unofficially on the night, 11 of 19. 15 yards a completion on average. 1st and 10 from the 36. Shotgun again for Salapak. Hands it off, and it's going to be to a Thrift. Tries the left side, and it's going to be Tevin.
Yeah.
Yep. Almost nothing there. He does make positive yards out of it for 1.
But, you know, they're still running the ball enough that Altoona has to respect the run. So the linebackers got to come up when they see that play action, and that, of course, opens up the quick swing passes to the outside. So once again, like before, Dave, look for something down the middle on the hash marks. They're going to give you that wide action look with the flare passes, and watch for that tight end sneaking down the middle.
2nd down and 9. A lot of field open on the left side. They're going to motion Johnny Rizzo that way. Looking now, they're coming to the right side. It's going to be Gates Luptak making the catch. He needed 9. He's going to get about 11.
Yeah, nice play action pass. They crossed the tight end all the way across the field. He was wide open down here to the press box side on the sideline for a nice throw, nice catch, nice first down, and the Knights are moving the chains once again.
The ball will go up to the 47. It's going to be Zach Begg to the far side, and it's going to be Bill Kirsten here near side. Looks like Luptak is in the slot. Handoff, though, is going to go to Tevin Thrift. Bounces outside, gets across the 50, keeps going outside, has some room, goes across the 45, breaks a tackle, dances around, gets across the 35, and is going to be forced out down up to the 29, or to the 31.
Yeah, that was a nice run. That was a big-time run. He stopped on a dime and let the Altoona defender go by him. As you can see it on the replay, well, I can see it on the replay, he bounces immediately to the outside, and then he picks up a great block from his wide receiver, and he's off to the races. Nice run by Mr. Thrift. That's what we need to see from him, that strong north-south running.
22 yards on that carry for Thrift. 1st and 10 from the 31. Salapak drops back, has some time, and he's going to fire in the area of Zach Begg, and it's going to go just a little too much and incomplete. So one thing we saw a lot of last week, Coach, I think, was the Jack throwing to the far side of the field where it's the long side of the field. And it makes it for it may have only tried to go for a couple-yard gain, but he's thrown it about 30 yards to try to get 2 yards.
Yeah, that's a tough throw. He's throwing from the left hash mark all the way across to the numbers on the other side. You got to have a very, very strong arm to do that, and very, very not a very accurate pass on that one in particular. So see if they adjust it, maybe tone down the patterns a little bit for him.
Bill Kirsten's the receiver here on the near side on 2nd and 10. Instead, it's going to be a fake handoff to Javon Thrift, rolling out now, finding Luptak across the 20, now up near the 15 is Salapak for another first down.
Yeah, that's, because of what Tevin's doing up the middle, they do that play action. Altoona got to respect that. They run enough the ball, they're doing well enough on the ground. Then he does the naked boot out to the flats. There's nobody out there. The tight end's crossing the middle. He could have ran it for a big gain. He chooses to throw it for a big gain. So nice play calling from the Norwin coaching staff and great execution from the Knights.
15 yards on that play. Salapak in the shotgun. Gets the hard count, and everybody jumps.
Yeah, that's a red flag if you're Altoona. Now Norwin's starting to dictate not only the plays, but also the tempo, and you're starting to make mistakes. So you want to try to get out of that pattern right now. And the Knights, if they punch it in here, they're going to have a ton of momentum on their side. And now Altoona's got to come out and probably do stuff they're not used to doing, which is throw the ball down the field.
Norwin has not faced a third down on this drive yet.
Very efficient offense as of this point.
High snap, but it's going to be a handoff to Javon Thrift. Dances his way up across the 10 and nears the first down marker. Will not get it. He got about 4 on the carry, though. They're going to give the spot up to the 10, to the 9. So it'll be 3. It'll be up a 2nd down and 2 with about 3 minutes to play in quarter number 3. Norwin leads it 10-0 after a Carter Breen field goal at the 9:32 mark and a touchdown in the first half. Salapak, he wants to throw. Tries Zeke Hauser, completes it. Zeke reaches for the end zone. Touchdown, Norwin. And you know Zeke's fired up about that because of the penalty he took earlier in this half.
Yeah, that was a nice pass. That was a timing route. Once again, fake play action. Now, you saw the play before. They only gained 2 or 3 yards, but it was enough to keep the linebackers up. This time they play faked. Zeke snuck out into the flats. Jack put the ball right where it had to be, and then the sheer willness of Zeke Hauser got it into the end zone. Nice play for the Knights.
Carter Breen will try the point after from the hold of Dieter. It's a low snap. Gets the hold down. Kick is up and good. 17-0. Norwin leads at 2:45 to go here in quarter number 3 on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
It may be fall, but baseball season will be here before you know it. Atlantic Coast Baseball, based right here in Westmoreland County, organizes the biggest and most competitive AAU tournaments in the region, bringing more than 1,000 teams into Western PA since May. This spring, Atlantic Coast Baseball will host its Spring Baseball League, featuring 3 divisions and over 100 teams expected. To register, visit playacbaseball.com. Atlantic Coast Baseball. We're passionate about the game of baseball.
For more on Westmoreland County sports this fall, visit our website, westmorelandsports.com. While you're there, you can read news articles, view fall sports teams, rosters, and schedules, plus listen and watch archived broadcasts. Check out our website all season long. We'd love to have you. That's westmorelandsports.com.
Norwin offensively, Coach, thanks for pointing this out. I'm not going to steal your thunder. You go ahead and take that.
Well, the 2 drives of the first half or the second half, they got 10 points. That's exactly what you're looking for. And, you're getting the momentum and you're keeping Altoona's defense on the field. You're wearing them out. And that was a long, methodical drive with some passes, some nice runs, some nice catches. So Norwin, as we talked about it at halftime, Dave, the offense looks like it's catching its breath. It looks like it's getting its legs underneath it. And it can only get better from here. So Coach Brzezinski and his staff got to be happy how they look, both offensively and defensively tonight.
Carter Breen elected to go with the low-line drive kick. It took a ton of bounces before it bounced into the end zone for a touchback, and that's where Braden Birchfield will take over for the Mountain Lions. Hands it off on first down, and it's going to be on the left side. Is that Lawhead? That's Mitch Lawhead.
29.
For a gain of 5. And we were talking about the pattern that Norwin has run for first down runs or first down plays to start a series. It's been all run except for one play as Lawhead's slow to get up. I think he's cramped here on the near sideline.
Yeah, and it looks a little reminiscent of last week when Norwin was behind and their players started to cramp up. So you don't know how physical versus psychological it is, but Altoona, I can't see Altoona being a big play down the field receiving team, passing team. Norwin will be very content if Altoona decides just to run the ball like they are. Like I said before, they're going to have to start throwing the ball vertically down the field to try to get back into this game.
Lawhead's up on his feet. He's going to limp off the field. That gives us a moment to congratulate our Week 0 Westmoreland County Player of the Week, Dairy running back Sean Broadway, as voted on by you, the fans. Sean ran for 137 yards and 3 touchdowns on 20 attempts in the Trojans' win over Latrobe last week. Sean receives a prize pack from Permani Brothers on East Pittsburgh Street in Greensburg and is featured in an article that you can read right now on westmorelandsports.com. Congratulations to our other finalists, Braden Brose and Justin Slowowski of Hempfield and Robert Kennedy of Jeanette. 2:31 to go in this third quarter of action. It's 2nd down and 4. As it's going to be a handoff to Patucci. Turkowski in the backfield to bring him down on an ankle tackle. Not after a gain of about 3.
Yeah, nice recovery from the Norwin defense. It looked like it was going to be a bigger play than it turned out. They gained about 3 yards. It's going to bring up a 3rd and short. And like I said before, the clock now is becoming another enemy to Altoona. They got to start getting first downs. They got to start getting big chunks of yardage to get down the field and maybe get a tally on the board here to make this a game in the 4th quarter.
Shotgun for Birchfield. Hands it off. And bouncing outside and falling across the 35 to the 36 is Patucci. He needed 1, and he ended up getting 7.
Yeah, you're starting to see some missed tackles, some arm tackles from the Knights. I don't know if they're getting fatigued or tired, but they got to start wrapping up. They don't want to give up a big play.
1st and 10. 1:34 to go in this quarter. Cam fakes it, gets the reception. Tries to cut upfield, gets across the 40, and is going to be bounced out of bounds after a gain of about 7.
You know, if they score, you don't want them to score, but if they score, you want them to earn it down the field, take time off the clock, and then if they happen to score, they score. But You can't give up a big play. You can't give up a big run. You can't miss tackles. So Norwin still has to play good fundamental defense here.
Gain is of 5. Hauser shows blitz. Quick pass, and it's going to be caught by Fasek. He spins out of the tackler, gets across the 50, across the 45, and is going to be tackled from behind by John Pickett, and Pickett looks to be shaken up here on the near sideline.
Yeah, it looks like he twisted his back on the tackle. And that's an example of what I was saying there, Dave. The corner for Norwin went to get the interception. Now, you don't need the interception right now. Let him catch it, make the tackle, and be sure of it. He went in for the interception, missed it, and it turns into a big play for Altoona. So they got to be a little smarter than that.
Gain was of 19 to Fasek on the first down. Handoff is going to go to Patucci. He's going to try to get around one of his blockers. Good job by Lubtak to kind of clog that hole, and Turkowski teamed up with Piper to make the stop. Give Gustafaro a nod as well.
Yeah, they're looking at John down on the sideline now. Dr. Medic and the training staff looks like they're going to go through some concussion protocol with him, but he seems to be communicating fine.
Quick pass is going to be on the outside, and it's missed. And, well, Tevin Thrift played the body. If he would have maybe been a step later, that could have been another big interception for Norwin.
Yeah, that would have been a pick 6 for sure down the sideline for Tevin. But, you know, you want him to be aggressive. You don't want him to be passive back there. Make a play on the ball, make the tackle. So it's going to bring up 3rd and long. This is definitely 2-down territory, I would assume, for Altoona. They can't give the ball back to Norwin now. So they're going to have 2 chances to get 7 or 8 yards here.
They've been very good on 3rd downs, 4 of 9. Dropping back is Birchfield. Fires down the middle, and it's caught. And it's not going to be enough from Tyler Wagner.
Yeah, it's a nice pass play, but Norwin would be happy to give him those 6-7 yard pass plays. Now it's going to bring up a 4th and 4. Now, what do you do now? Do you run the ball? Do you pass the ball? It looks like Altoona's going to let the clock run out for the start of the 4th quarter.
Well, Jack Salapak connected with Zeke Hauser at the 2:45 mark of this quarter, and a Carter Breen field goal at the 9:32 mark. 10 points in this half. Norwin leads it 17-0 going into the 4th quarter here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Visit the Glass City Stained Glass Restoration and Gift Shop in the heart of downtown Jeanette. They offer endless possibilities of stained glass colors and textures with a large selection of lead, copper foil, tools, and equipment. They repair and restore churches, your home, or your business. The gift shop has sun catchers, night lights, stepping stones, photo art, and more. Imagine beautiful stained glass windows in your skylights, family rooms, or foyer. They also offer stained glass classes. Stop by the Glass City or call 724-527-CITY, online at the Glass.
When you make your way into Dehar Orthodontics, we don't want it to be just another appointment. We want it to be an experience. Our new patient welcoming area offers free Wi-Fi, a gaming area, face painting, balloon animals, and of course, a coffee bar for mom and dad. Just another reason Dehar Orthodontics is the #1 orthodontic practice in Westmoreland County. Call one of our 3 locations in Greensburg, Latrobe, or Irwin to schedule your complimentary consultation today, or visit Dehar Orthodontics.
4th quarter action here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. Norwin leads at 17-0 over Altoona in the Southeastern 6A conference game. 4th down and 4. Fires, it's almost intercepted across the middle. And that was 31, Ryan Beach. Coming up almost with the interception, turnover on downs.
Nice play by Ryan. He was playing center field. Norwin looked like a man coverage and then dropped to a zone. And I think it sort of fooled the quarterback from Altoona. He threw it to an area, and Ryan Beach came underneath it and broke up the play. Just as good as an interception, because now Norwin gets the ball. Nice long drive here should do it here, David. So the Knights got to do some ball control, some play action, get the ground game going, and now they got to start running out the clock.
Norwin starts on its own 34. 1st and 10 on a pistol formation. That's Hauser in motion. Handoff goes to the deep man. As a flag flies, it's Tevin Thrift. It's going to be a shame because that's coming back. That's a huge gain.
Yeah, it looked like the motion man turned upfield just a second early there. to negate that run. But a nice play call, nice formation, opened up the whole left side, and Tevin planted his foot and cut it up hard for a good positive run.
Tevin wants it again. You can see him motioning to the sideline. Give it to me again. And it's going to be an illegal shift. It's going to go against Zeke Hauser. Now, he got away with it once earlier in this game, but this time he doesn't get away with it. You're right, he didn't get himself set before that ball was snapped.
Once again, Dave, we've said it before. It's early. Those things are timing mistakes. And, this early in the season, as a coach, you don't like them, but you expect them.
11:35 to go in this final quarter. Shotgun for Salopek. He hands it off to Thrift. Thrift bounces outside, advances across to one player, and gets up to the 40.
Oh, he's hurt. He hurt his knee.
They're going to give him up to the 41. So the gain right now is of 11. And we are going to get an injury timeout.
He's holding his left knee.
It's the way he came down.
Yeah, hopefully it's not serious. He's been showing some really, really positive signs the last couple weeks of being that big play running back that the Knights are looking for. Not only that, you lose your shutdown corner if he's hurt. So bad break for the Knights. Let's hope it's nothing serious.
Well, let's step aside for a quick moment here in the Westmoreland Sports Network. It's 17-0 Norwin in quarter number 4.
Tonight's live Knights football broadcast on the Westmoreland Sports Network is being made possible by the support of the Norwin Football Boosters. President Bob Rizzo, Vice President Jen Turkowski, Treasurer Heather Neubauer, Secretary Ginny Gustafaro, and the rest of the boosters wish good luck to Coach Dave Brzeski and the Knights this season. For more on Norwin football, follow the Knights on Twitter at @NknightsFBall. The Norwin Football Boosters making it possible for our student athletes to experience high school sports at its highest level.
Tevin Thrift walks off under his own power, so you hope maybe it's just a cramp. As we'll see what happened here on this play. He makes a couple of nice cuts, dances around that guy right there. It's the way he came down. I think he just hit his left knee a little harder than he wanted to off the turf. And it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 4 with 11:04 to go here in this final quarter. Norwin leads it. Handoff is going to go to Javon Thrift. He wants to bounce outside, now cuts upfield, and he's going to get about 3 on this carry.
Nice run by Javon, picking up for his cousin, Tevon. Off tackle play to the right. Almost the first down. It's going to bring up a very, very short 3rd and 1. Knights need to convert this to give their defense a little breather here because Altoona had a nice drive on the last time they had the ball.
Well, Norwin has not been very good on 3rd downs this year. I believe they've only converted 2 or 3 3rd downs. They're 1 of 6 tonight. This is the first 3rd down they've faced in this. It's the second 3rd down they've faced in this half. It's 3rd and 1. Handoff is going to go to Javon Thrift. He does get the first down and more. Gets across the 50, breaks out of a tackle, and he's going to be brought down at the 45 and out of bounds to the 44.
Nice explosive run by Javon. He broke the first 2 tackles at the line of scrimmage and popped into the second layer and was a step away from taking that one to the house. So nice run by Javon Thrift. Another wrinkle for the Knights offense. And here comes Tevin back into the game. So that's a good sign for the Knights.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Gain of 13 for Javon. And now make it 2 of 7 on the night from 3rd down. Handoff is going to go to Tevin. He bounces outside, cuts again, gets across the 40, and he's going to be ridden out of bounds. To about the 38 is where they're going to mark him out. Oh, there's a holding penalty, though, against the Knights.
Going to get the wide receiver holding, but Tevin made a nice bounce to the outside. They brought both inside backers in the A-gaps, and I think the play was designed to go up inside, but Tevin planted his foot, headed to the sideline, picked up a positive gain. Unfortunately, it's coming back.
It's going to be first and forever now. The holding penalty will make it now a first. And now again, it's going to be about 25.
Yeah, Norwin needs to take its time here. You don't need to get it all back on one play. Get chunks, 10 here, 5 here, 6 here, and get yourself into a third and makeable.
Trips to the left. Show blitz. Quick pass to Rizzo. Rizzo catches it, and he's only going to get a yard of that back, if any.
Yeah, Altoona's definitely bringing up the defensive pressure. That was pretty much an all-out blitz up the inside for the second time in a row. Norwin needs to come with a screen pass right now, and if they get behind those linemen, there's going to be nobody there to make the tackle. So maybe look for a screen, middle screen, rather than the quick outside screens.
Pistol formation as that play went for no gain. It'll be 2nd and 24 now. Hauser comes into the backfield. Now Tevin Thrift goes outside. Salapak drops back to pass. He's going to tuck under, and I think he's going to be brought down. This will be the first sack of the game, and it's going to be a loss of about 4.
Defensive play by number 60, the senior Nathan Pumpkin for the Mountain Lions.
Yeah, it's good pass rush by Altoona. They put the pressure on him right away. Jack tried to sneak up into the pocket, but the inside pass rush was there to stop him for a big sack, bringing up 3rd in forever. Now you just run the ball up in the middle, you punt the ball, and you let your defense play. You don't do anything crazy here to create a turnover at midfield. Take a nice, safe play, run it up the middle, nice, easy pass if you have to, and then turn the ball back to your defense.
Pistol formation, and that's exactly what they'll be content doing. It's going to be Tevin Thrift running up the middle and trying to get some of that yardage back. He's only going to get about 4 or 5 of it back.
Which is fine, because by the time they get the ball back to Altoona, there's going to be under 7 minutes to go. So nothing to panic. Don't panic. Don't say we have to get this first down. There's nothing wrong with punting the ball. So punt the ball, let your defense, the way it's playing tonight, very good, very strong. Let them take over the game for you.
Zeke Hauser will punt it away for the Knights. This will be Lawhead deep. Good snap. A nice punt to the open field. Take a bunch of Norwin bounces, and it'll go down to the 23-yard line. Oh, Zeke. Now, I talked about this last week with Dave Floyd. Normally, in my experience with watching high school football and from Thomas Jefferson, is it's always been the kicker as your punter. And it's pretty much that way across the WPIL and high school football in general. Norwin, over at least the last 5 years that I've been here, has always been a skill player to kick the ball. I remember Logan Deary did it for the longest time, almost all 3 years that I covered him. His brother did it, Aaron Carr did it, now it's Zeke Hauser. It makes a dual threat there for these special teams.
It always puts the fake in the play.
First down play here is Birchfield throws it incomplete. He wants that one back. He knew he overthrew that as soon as it left his hands.
And sometimes your kickers, Dave, nothing against kickers, but sometimes they're not your most athletic people, and especially if they're coming from another sport to play football, whereas if you're having a running back, a linebacker, they're a little more durable back there. They can take hits. They can make plays for you. So it's a good weapon to have.
2nd and 10. Handoff. Now it's going to be Birchfield keeping it himself. He froze Hauser for a second, but then trots out of bounds to stop the clock at 6:46 as Birchfield picks up 5.
Yeah, like I said before, Norwin will let them do this all night long. They're gaining 2 yards, 3 yards, nothing deep down the field, nothing deep down the middle. And, if that's what they're content to do, Norwin will let them do it.
Well, Derry currently getting it to them right now. They're losing 35-0 as this pass is going to be well out of the reach of the intended receiver, Wagner. It's the 29th pass attempt from Birchfield tonight. He's completed 18 of them.
Yeah, now the punt team comes on with 6 minutes and 44 seconds left. Very, very poor showing there on offense by Altoona. Pretty much couple runs, a short pass over the head. Now that they're going to turn the ball back over to the Knights.
And if you look at the scoreboard, I know viewers can't see it, but Norwin has 5 timeouts remaining in this second half.
I don't think they'll need them.
Patucci has an end-over-end punt. It's going to take an Altoona bounce out of bounds up to the 42-yard line.
You know, Dave, we talk about facets of the game.
There it is. The 5 timeouts.
All different facets of the game. That's called home cooking there. Norwin gets 5 timeouts. But the difference in the punting game tonight has been a big difference. Norwin's punter, Zeke Hauser, has been using it as a weapon and pinning Altoona deep, whereas the Altoona punter hasn't been doing that good of a job and giving Norwin great field position. So that little intricacy of the football game plays a big part, and Norwin's definitely doing a great job on that tonight.
Shotgun formation for the Knights. Blitz showing. Handoff is going to go to Thrift on this misdirection. He's got a lot of open field in front of him. See you later, Tevin Thrift. He takes it to the house, and Norwin puts the ball in the end zone again.
Nice play. It was a counter play, misdirection. That was the one he busted big against Penn Trafford, and he comes back and takes it to the house from Altoona. A lot of misdirection in the backfield, and the ball's going right up the middle. So good play call, nice execution by the Knights for should be the winning score here with 6 minutes to go.
58 yards on the run, 1 play on the drive. Carter Breen will attempt the point after from the hold of Dieter. Kick is up and through for Breen. 24-0. Norwin leads it. 6:26 to go in this ball game from Norwin Knight Stadium here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Forget what you think you know about Neapolitan pizza and go to Del Forno in North Huntington. 2 wood-fired ovens from Naples, Italy create an unforgettable experience with their handcrafted pizzas. Friends and family alike will enjoy their comfortable atmosphere, and Happy Hour with Craft Beers offers a welcoming introduction to the best their ovens have to offer. Del Forno is located in the Banco Business Park in North Huntington. Eat in or for takeout, call 724-515-7012. Online at delfornorestaurant.com.
Norwin Teachers Federal Credit Union provides full banking services to all Norwin School District employees, area businesses, Norwin students, and their families. There's a branch conveniently located inside the high school, so Norwin students can access many of these banking services. For more information, visit them online at norwinteachersfcu.org or download their mobile app. Norwin Teachers Federal Credit Union is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration, equal housing lender.
24-0 is your score from Norwin Knight Stadium. The Knights lead it in the fourth quarter. Carter Breen's kickoff is high, end over end. It's going to be fielded at the 21 by Mitch Lawhead. He's not going to take it very far before being brought down. A final score coming through Westmoreland County. Penn Trafford wins 48-7 over the Falcons of Connellsville. That game was 48-0 for the longest time. Penn Trafford hit the ground running in that game. Now you're really seeing that. Now, last week it seemed like a sloppy, kind of strange game. Now it looks like a really good game for that defense last week for Norwin. And 47 points scored, or 48 points scored this week as opposed to 3 last week. Shotgun formation on 1st and 10 for Altoona. Fired. It's almost going to be intercepted by Tevon Thrift and incomplete.
Well, I'll just tell you this, Dave. I'm not a doctor, nor have I ever claimed to be, but as a football coach, I would say Tevin's knee is 100% on that last run because he hit the button and he exploded through the middle and he outran the secondary to the goal line. So beautiful run, great blocking by the offensive line, and it was just a great execution of a play by the Knight offense.
Gateway leads at 41-8 over Latrobe at the end of the third quarter. Run up the middle here. Dancing around is going to be Lawhead. I'm sorry, correction. That's Patucci on the carry. He's going to get about 4 on that carry.
Third down and about 6.
Bring up a big third down. 4 for 10 are the Mountain Lions on third down tonight.
And that percentage is getting a little bit worse as the game goes on. At one time, they were doing very well on third down conversions.
Dropping back to Birchfield, and it's almost intercepted by Kirsten. It's just over his outstretched hands on the 30th pass attempt by Birchfield tonight.
Yeah, it was nice coverage. They had a guy over top, and they had a guy underneath, and Billy Kirsten came off the receiver and almost made a tremendous interception. Dave, you got to like when the team you held to 3 points last week scores 45?
47.
47, and the team you're playing tonight who scored 35 last week has a 0 with 5 minutes to go in the game. So like I said before, as this goes on, you're going to start saying Norwin has a pretty good defense, I think.
That's what I was going to say. I think it's starting to shape up as Norwin's got a very strong defense.
They're solid. They're solid in all facets.
Might need to tighten up just a hair on the run game.
Well, yeah,
they've done much better tonight than they did last week.
They can't let up the big plays either, and so far they've been doing that.
First good punt from Altoona tonight. It takes a Norwin bounce, and it's going to be down to the 32-yard line. And it'll be the Norwin offense coming back out on the field. As we said, next week, Norwin will travel to Shaler. They'll take on the Shaler Titans at Shaler. That's a 7 o'clock kickoff. We'll be on the air at 6:30. Hempfield 28, Cannon Mac 27 in the third quarter. So who knows, maybe Slowowski's okay. Maybe he came back in, but it's still that's a close game, and it should be fun to watch some Southeast Conference against them throughout the year. Ken and Mac will have on the 22nd here at Norwin Knight Stadium.
And if I remember, they were 2 good games last year between those teams.
You're correct. First down is going to be a handoff as Brock Dieter checked into the game and cutting up the field and getting some good positive yards for about 13. It was Tanner Queen.
Yeah, nice hard running by Tanner. He went north and south right off the get-go.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's Tanner Queen's first carry, and he takes it for 13 yards. Dieter in the shotgun. Queen to his left. Hands it off to him. Queen steps and goes straight up the middle. Gets across the 50 to the 49 for a gain of 6.
Nice run. The offensive line's doing a nice job. They still got some of the first-team offensive linemen in there. Jake Smetak's in there, and it looks like a couple of the other starters are still in there.
Like Turkowski I saw still in there, Cody Piper.
But Queen's doing some nice running. He's going north and south. He's running hard.
All the starting receivers are still out there, too. Zeke Hauser, just the most recent one to check out. Dieter shotgun on 2nd and 4. Hands it off, and it's going to be Tanner Queen on the outside. He tries to cut back. He's still going to get positive yards as he's going to pick up about 3.
That was a nice cutback. He was trying to get to the outside. Altoona set the edge, and he planted that right foot and got his shoulder pads upfield and got some positive yardage, almost a first down. He's going to be he's going to be a little bit short. It's like about a 3rd and 2 coming up for the Knights.
Tanner Queen, only a sophomore, listed at 5'8", 160. They'll bring up a 3rd and 2. The Knights are 2 of 8 on 3rd downs tonight. Dieter shotgun. Hands it off again to Tanner Queen, and he's going to lose yards this time. He's going to lose 2. So the woes continue. That'll be something I'll talk about with Coach next week on how what needs to be done to correct the 3rd down woes offensively. The defensive side, it started out not well, but throughout pretty much the last quarter and a half, almost 2.5 quarters, has been pretty well done on 3rd downs.
Yeah, and you definitely want your offensive efficiency on 3rd down to get better than it is. And same on defense, but I'm sure that's something they're going to work on during the week, and it might be something as simple as play selection. So Norwin pretty much run the clock down. I think they called a timeout.
Yep.
And they're going to punt the ball over.
2:43 to go in this final quarter. Norwin leads at 24-0 here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Hi, Westmoreland County football fans. This is Chad Ammon, president of the Westmoreland County Chamber of Commerce. At the Chamber, we open doors for businesses every day, providing our members with the tools, programs, and opportunities they need to grow. By helping our county businesses reach their goals, our community's overall quality of life is enhanced. Call 724-834-2900 or visit westmorelandchamber.com for your company to become a member of the Chamber of Commerce. The Westmoreland County Chamber of Commerce, building business, connecting communities, and empowering people.
This is your County Commissioner, Ted Kopus. I am proud to sponsor a great tradition of high school football in Westmoreland County. Best wishes to all of the players and coaches who work so hard all year, to the cheerleaders, band members, and fans who represent their schools so well, and a special thanks to all the parents who sacrifice so much for these students. This is your County Commissioner, Ted Kopus. Enjoy the game and enjoy all that Westmoreland County has to offer.
Paid for by Committee for Kopus. Visit Ted Kopus.
Lawhead receives the punt from Zeke Hauser and takes it up a couple of yards. And, well, long field challenge for the Mountain Lions. Are they going to keep their first team offense out there? I see Patucci out there. I see Cam Fasek out there, and it looks like Birchfield is in the huddle, so they will keep their first team offense out there. And it looks like the second team defense is out there for the Norwin Knights.
Yeah, there's a lot of substitutes out there for Norwin, which there should be. Get your young kids some time, get your seniors some time, and tell them you want a shutout. Challenge them to keep the shutout. So, you're not holding anything back. You will still want them to play very hard.
Cam Fasek can't come up with the swing pass. It falls incomplete to him. 31 attempts for the Mountain Lions through the air, only 21 on the ground. I guess it's not terribly unbalanced. 2nd and 10. Option handoff, and Birchfield's going to keep it himself up the middle. He's going to get about 10 yards on the carry, and I think they're going to move the sticks on him.
Number 21, Tanner Queen, and number 31, Ryan Beach, teaming up to make the tackle there for Norwin. Pickup was good for a first down.
They are going to give Birchfield the 10. Give him to the 30, 1st and 10. Shotgun again for Birchfield. 3 receivers near side. He drops back, a deep drop. Now he throws a screen, and it's well overthrown, and he wants that one back.
Yeah, it was set up nice. They had 4 linemen downfield. Running back was wide open, and he just overthrew the ball. Not having his best night tonight. And that play, I don't know what they saved it for now. They should have used that in the first quarter. That was a nice-looking play. Could have went big.
They'll bring up a 2nd down and 10, 2:01 to play. Norwin leads at 24-0. Handoff is going to go up the middle. I believe it's Patucci there on the carry. Picking up about 4. Well, we just heard a lot of Tanner Queen defensively. He's made quite a few stops here on this drive as he's checked in defensively. Gain of 4 on that last play, and it's going to be a pass and almost intercepted out of the tipped ball from Tyler Wagner, and it falls incomplete on 3rd down.
Yeah, somebody would have had a trophy there if they had picked that ball off in a varsity game against a varsity quarterback. But almost intercepted. Falls harmlessly to the turf, but it brings up 4th down, and Altoona got to convert this, or the Knights are pretty much going to control the clock and just down the ball.
It was Stephen Modrak, the one in the area of the ball. 1:31 to play on 4th down. And it's going to be Birchfield up the middle, and good job defensively by the second team defense to stop the Mountain Lions on 4th down and turn it over on downs. It was Dylan Kantz coming up to make the stop. There's a gain of about 2 on the carry for Birchfield. That'll pretty much about do it.
Yeah, that should pretty much do it. This should be did they give it? No, it's Norwin's ball, is it not?
It's Norwin's ball, but
they look like they have their
defense is still
out on the
there.
field.
They never made a signal.
There we go. Now they're switching it. Looks like 3 victory snaps to me should get this game over with.
You're starting to see the guys that wouldn't normally see time, as you see Steve Pavlik coming out, or Sean Pavlik, excuse me, trotting out there, and a couple other guys. I think coaches.
I think they're trying to decide on a quarterback here.
I'm not. It's interesting.
Looks like number 12 is getting ready to go in.
It's going to be Colton Madden if he is the quarterback.
I believe he is the JV quarterback. That name is, I think it's been mentioned to me before about JV quarterbacking, and he just started being a JV quarterback. So
he's listed on the roster as a wide receiver.
Yeah, and I think they just converted him to play JV games as quarterback, and he did a nice job last week against Penn Trafford. So, yeah, they're definitely bringing him out, giving him a couple snaps under the lights. He's got to be excited. So I'm sure they might hand the ball off now, just give him a little repetition.
So it will be Colton Madden in there. With 1:25 to play. Takes a snap, hands it off, and it's going to be Tanner Queen with the ball. He's going to lose a yard. Go ahead.
That's going to take it down to under a minute. So all they got to do is maybe a couple more times, hold on to the football. Coaches like practicing this kind of stuff.
The Golden Lions are having their way right now with the Ringgold Rams. Just saw the score. Oh, by the way, Jeanette 58-0 over Shar Houston final score. Greensburg-Salem, that game, as I was saying, 48-7 in the fourth quarter for the Golden Lions.
The offenses are getting warmed up.
2nd and 11. Madden hands it off. Another new runner in there. This one's going to be Devin Summers.
The sophomore getting the call for the Knights.
This is where it's nice to see some of these guys that this may be the only time that they get some varsity time, at least for this season.
Well, and they usually practice very hard,
yep.
And you want to reward them
absolutely
with playing under the lights. So good move by the coaching staff to get these young kids in, and you're also keeping your veteran guys from getting banged up. And that should do it, Dave.
Yep.
10 seconds.
That's going to do it. Final score here will be 24-0 Norwin. Next week they'll travel to Shaler area to take on the Titans. And at least in my years that I can remember of covering Norwin football, they've been I think it's 3-0 now that they've been against Shaler area. I think they're now 5-0 against the Altoona Mountain Lions in the years that I've covered them. So nice showing here. Nice bounce back, nice second half effort. Really late second quarter on through the second half offensively for the Knights, even better defensively.
Yeah, and you got to be happy as the coaching staff because you didn't start out well. You turned the ball over inside the 2-yard line. Your offense was getting opportunity after opportunity, and it just wasn't clicking. So second half, you come out, you make some adjustments, and all of a sudden things start to work. Your quarterback starts to make the throws he's supposed to make. Receivers are making catches. And now you look back at this game and say, we did some positive things. And like I told you before, Dave, this game is a building block for games down the road. And Coach Brzezinski got to be happy. The thing I'm tickled about as a head coach, former head coach, is 8 quarters, 0 touchdowns given up, just a field goal. So you got to be happy about that. You have to be excited about that.
Well, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll look at some stats and we'll finish up this game. 24-0 your final score here. Norwin beats Altoona on the Westmoreland Sports Network. Now, keep it here for just a moment as you see the Norwin Knights football team trot over, as they do after every game, win or lose or tie. I don't know if you can tie in high school football, but they trot over to their student section. They sing the alma mater. with their fellow students. As you can see it right there, the Norwin Knights obviously, so I'll take a word out of your dictionary there, tickled there, Tim, by this victory, and it was a well-fought victory. Again, though, 24-0. The Norwin Knights shut out the Altoona Mountain Lions. Now we'll throw it the break here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. When we come back, we'll wrap things up here, and we'll say goodnight. 24-0, Norwin wins.
For over 30 years, people have looked to us to be experts in orthopedic and sports physical therapy. And that is true. What a lot of people don't know is that we cover the gamut of age and condition to offer physical therapy in a number of different ways. We have specialists in hand therapy, concussion management, vestibular imbalance disorders, and total joint replacement. We transform lives every day.
Our focus is on your result. East Suburban Sports Medicine. Take it from me, Bill Hillgrove. It's the best care.
This is no ordinary university. This is a place where learning is transformed, where students come to advance as artists, as entrepreneurs, as individuals who will make a difference. This is technology in the service of teaching, a window to a world of possibilities. This is Seton Hill University, and it's all within your reach. This is the way up.
Imagine lying on a cozy hammock nestled in the trees, or sitting around a campfire roasting marshmallows with the family. How does a relaxing weekend of fishing sound? You can do it all at Pioneer Family Campground at Raystown Lake. Located near the largest lake in Pennsylvania, Pioneer Family Campground has premium camper sites to give you the relaxation you deserve, or stay in one of their beautiful log cabins. Visit pioneerfamilycampground.com or call 814-658-CAMP. Pioneer Family Campground. Once you're here,
It may be fall, but baseball season will be here before you know it. Atlantic Coast Baseball, based right here in Westmoreland County, organizes the biggest and most competitive AAU tournaments in the region, bringing more than 1,000 teams into Western PA since May. This spring, Atlantic Coast Baseball will host its Spring Baseball League, featuring 3 divisions and over 100 teams expected. To register, visit playacbaseball.com. Atlantic Coast Baseball. We're passionate about the game of baseball.
Every Monday this fall, check out our Westmoreland County Sports Notebook on our website, westmorelandsports.com. We take all the juicy news tidbits from the week, jot them in our notebook, and have it for you to read every Monday. Also new this fall is our weekly Westmoreland College Update. Get scores, news, and game recaps for Seton Hill, Pitt at Greensburg, St. Vincent, and Westmoreland County Community College. Every Monday on westmorelandsports.com.
Westmoreland County's broadcast home for high school sports, the Westmoreland Sports Network.
24-0 Norwin beats Altoona here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. As, completely different game from last week where the offense really couldn't find its identity. This week, I think, it was a pretty well-balanced, probably more runs through, even though the passing game was more effective. 32 plays on the ground and 23 through the air for a total of 400 even yards, as opposed to just scraping over 100 yards last week, getting about 120 yards, 130 yards total offense. They defeated that on both assets on the offense tonight. 197 through the air, 203. On the ground, 197, 203 through the air. Jack Salapak connecting on 2 touchdowns. He goes 15 of 23 for 203. And the leading receiver, I have Gage Lovetak. These are all unofficial stats, by the way. Gage Lovetak, 5 catches, 95 yards. He's got 1 of 20, 1 of 41, 1 of 11, 1 of 15, and 1 of 8. Gianni Rizzo just there with him, 6 catches, 44 yards. Made a couple, as you can see some of the highlights throughout this ball game being shown right now. But Gianni Rizzo making a lot of plays, shoestring catches, turning some bubble screens into some big yards. On the ground, though, Tevin Thrift, he has got that one big 58-yard rush. I have him unofficially 11 carries, 126 yards, so his first 100-yard game of the season. Also on the ground, 6 carries for Javon Thrift for 25 yards. Jack Salapak gives 5 carries for 18 yards. Tanner Queen giving some mop-up time, gets 5 carries for 19 yards. So well-fought game there offensively for the Knights. Even better done through defensively as Birchfield throws 33 passes, only completes 18 of them for 106 and 1 interception. On the ground, Patucci goes 11 carries, 68 yards. Wahed, 6 carries, 28 yards, and Birchfield kept it himself 5 times for 21 yards. Through the air, Cam Fasek was the leading receiver, 7 catches for 45 yards. Jonah Brandt and Patucci both had 2 catches, 20 yards and 15 respectively. Third down conversions, they started really well, the Mountain Lions, and ended up finishing the game 4 for 12. They go 123 on the ground, 111 through the air for 234 total, giving up no touchdowns, no touchdowns through now 8 quarters and only 3 points in this season for the Norwin Knights defense. Again, as you said, Coach, earlier in the game, kind of a feeling out process in maybe the first quarter and a half, and then really Norwin tightened up from there on. Probably from about halfway through the second quarter on, it was not even a bend don't break. It was just shut them down, and that's what they did.
Right, and what people don't realize, Dave, is like back when I was the head coach here at Norwin, we would have a full 2 weeks of practice, and I practiced 4 times a day in camp, and then the second week we'd go to 3 times a day, and then you would have 2 scrimmage. You would have one on a Saturday, and your second one would be on a Friday. Then you would have 5 more days of practice before your first game. These kids here are playing their first game with essentially a week of practice, and with the heat acclimation period and the period that you can't practice 4 times a day anymore, they're still getting their feet wet here, and people have to understand it takes time, especially for these offenses. These offenses are so intricate today with the handoffs, the misdirection, the timing patterns from the quarterback to the receivers. So, and it's just not here. It's everywhere across the WPIL, and you're going to see offenses start scoring a lot of points as we get deeper into the season. So the first quarter tonight, Norwin defense came out on fire, turned the ball over, offense struggled. And as you saw as the game went on, Jack Selopek started to get comfortable with his play calling, started making some plays, and then everything started falling in place. So the best thing is you can only go up from here. Week 3 is going to be better than week 2. Same with Altoona. They have to think of it the same way. So the way things are set up right now, you're going to get these sloppy games in the week 0 and week 1. So as a coach, like I said before, and like you just mentioned, you got to be ecstatic if you're the Norwin defensive staff. 8 quarters, you haven't let up a touchdown yet this year.
And I think that goes – last year I think there was a similar situation defensively. I think they went almost 3 games without giving up a touchdown outside of the week 0 game, or maybe it was 2 years ago. They went a long span without giving up a touchdown to start the season, and then even in the game that they did give up a touchdown. It was a close game. I think they only gave up 1 touchdown that game, and then they start facing the tougher opponents as the season goes on, but – and obviously you get more tired. But I want to go back to something you said about the 10 games. There are a lot of conferences throughout the state, and I think most conferences, sections, division, whatever they're called, throughout this state play 10 games as a regular season schedule, where Norwin has the WPIL has the option to play that 10th game, even though it doesn't count towards anything. They still have that option to play. So it is a little different when you look around the state, because I know I think it's Section 2 out in the middle of the state where like Conemaugh Valley and the Johnstown area, they do play 10 regular season games. So it is a little bit of a different turn that the WPIL is starting to get used to. And I think, honestly, I think a lot of teams like it, having this 10th game. And I bet you see the WPIL enacting a 10th game now throughout the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, it only helps your players. It only helps your team down the road. And my thing is I would like more time before I have to play
if you can get an extra week, I think it's the 16th now that they can, right around the middle of August, they can report to camp maybe a week earlier. I would agree with that.
And I think if you saw last week, the cramps set in, and also I don't think the kids are in shape. You can run and run and run, but until you get into that football shape, you hear them talk about it all the time. It's hard to compete to your highest level. And Brian Messich, he's the trainer of the Norwin football team, one of the trainers. He claims his belief is cramps come from not being hit, getting up off the ball, landing on the ground in different positions. You don't have that anymore like you used to. So the kids, when they get into a game, they get hit hard, they land on the ground hard, their muscles are in different places. That's where the cramps come from. So he was trying to explain that to me last week, and it started to make a lot of sense. So until they get that hitting and falling down, getting back up quick, those quick twitch muscles, until they get them toned and tuned for the season, you're going to see a lot of cramping early on.
Well, I think we've been fortunate, though, to have the first 2 weeks here. Normally, we're sweating our faces off up here in the press box tonight. I have long pants and a long sleeve shirt on here tonight. It's a cool night, which has been beneficial for the players. But this game was, I think, a really well played game for the Norwin Knights. A complete different ball game from last week, as I said earlier, and I think it was an enjoyable one to watch. It was enjoyable to watch Jack Salopek be comfortable. He only threw a handful of passes for single-digit yardage, 2 of them being 1 of 8, 1 of 9 yards. So the rest of them pretty much being in double-digit yardage, and that's very good to see, and especially seeing, we saw Stephen Petrick a few years ago being a big tight end. Gage Luptak was huge tonight.
Yeah, and Norwin used them well. And what they did, if you remember, they were spreading the field out with those quick passes to the sidelines, and then they would get that same look and sneak that tight end up the middle of the field. And Jack hit him a couple times on big plays. So great play calling tonight, and I think the execution was definitely up a couple notches from what it was last week. So next week, it's a game. It's still an exhibition game. It doesn't count in the section, but it's going to be a full regulation game. Norwin needs to go down to Shaler, even build on this game. Maybe throw another shutout would be one of my goals, and also to score more than 24 points. So it's a growing process. It's a slow process, and they're having some good opportunities in the early part of this year to become a very, very good football team.
Well, both these teams now respectively go 1-1 on the season. Norwin will travel, as Coach said, to Shaler next week. We'll be on the air at 6:30 from Shaler area. As Altoona, they'll travel to Butler to play the Golden Tornadoes. That's also a 7 o'clock game, and I'm sure that'll be covered somewhere. It won't be by us, though. Coach, any final thoughts from you?
No, just happy to be back. Football season's great. High school football season is the greatest. And just happy to be working with you again this year, Dave. It's a lot of fun. It gets me back into the football mystique, the football jive, and I look forward to it every week. So thank you very much for the opportunity, and hopefully Norwin stays healthy and becomes very competitive towards the end of the year.
Absolutely. It's great having you back. Well, for our cameraman Steve Janik, our executive producer and director tonight, he's kind of the man of many hats. He gives us some injury updates. He's our insider, Dan Flickinger, and everybody back in the studio getting us on the air and scores. I'm Dave Franzak saying so long from Norwin Knight Stadium. Final score 24-0 Norwin over Altoona. Good night, and we'll see you next week from Shaler.